I don't see anything but hello. Welcome to the Solve for Why coverage of Daniel Negreanu versus Doug Polk. Of course, we are here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. A little bit of a delay on my end, so briefly I didn't get to see my gracious co-host here, Matt Berkey, again in the Kentucky Blue. And
Kentucky Blue is royal. This is North Carolina Blue.
Not giving you that credit.
Tar Heel Blue, if you will.
Not gonna give you Tar Heel Blue. Get out of here, Mister. You think you Michael Jordan up in here? You think you Vince Carter? You think you who you think you is? You think you Jerry Stackhouse up in here? You think
Jerry Stackhouse?
You think you Jerry Stackhouse up in here?
That's a little bit of a reach. Are you able to see us now? Are you good?
Yeah, I am good. I see that both players are sitting. This is session number 27, and Doug Polk is still winning. He is up 484,000. However, this is the fifth. We have seen 5 straight wins from Daniel, cutting the deficit in half. And the man is on a roll. The man is on a mission, and we're also on a mission. We will be here for the duration of tonight's coverage. I am back on the left in the righteous place where I should always have been. There are no guests for today. It's just me and my man Matt Big Bet Berkey.
I keep forgetting to reach out to Jeremiah. We should do that.
The legend of Jeremiah will eventually sit.
I'm gonna tell him to bring some guinea pigs into the studio.
No. Come on, man. This is crazy. Guinea pigs in the studio is a little bit too much. But Berkey, we're back. It's an interesting day in the United States. Donald Trump did get impeached for the second time. So
it's so funny. It's a big deal. Like, it'll be a big deal in a historical sense. But from a sheer, I guess, let's say from a semantical sense, it's so irrelevant. Like, the guy's out of office in 6 days. Although maybe it affects his pardoning power. Which I think
it affects his ability to run again. That's really what I think people. Yeah, he can't run again.
Like, that's legit. Wait, if he gets impeached? No. If he actually gets.
No, if he gets
not
convicted,
the impeachment process. Yeah, he actually has to get convicted.
Yeah, he has to get impeached, like completely gone from office.
Two different things. Impeachment is the process.
I understand. Okay, impeachment is a process. Yeah, if he gets convicted, removed, then it's over.
And you're supposing that it's a high probability he will?
No, I don't think it's a high probability. I think it's like...
Which is so sad, but... Yeah, I think it's like... I mean, the problem is that there's just too much incentive for his party to not turn their backs on him, right? Yeah. Because, like, it compromises their position in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's what I said today. I was like, when I saw that 10 Republicans moved...
I only saw 6. That's actually
it was
good.
It was 10. I was like, all right, well, it's GG for them. Like,
yeah,
it's over. Like, they won't get any backing after this. Like, I hope
they
write a book or something.
Yeah. That is kind of the funny thing about politics, is you could just go into that at any time. You know what kind of dawned on me, and I obviously don't think that this is the case, but it would be quite ironic if somehow the history books wrote it this way. Trump kind of ran on the platform of he's going to drain the swamp, and he is not the corporate politician. He's here to shake things up and be an everyman kind of thing. He did an awful job of that, as we saw. Like, no swamp was drained, and if anything, only more corruption came into play. But he may single-handedly have destroyed the Republican Party. By which case, we could make a strong argument that he would have in fact monkey wrenched politics to a point of opening the doors for anew.
Yeah, I am curious. I think we are just going to see very likely like a more centrist approach moving forward. Like, it's not going to be like a Trump like hard right or an AOC hard left. It's just going to be a lot more candidates similar to Biden, where it's like, they're a little bit more in the middle.
Well, the thing with you're not wrong, but the thing is that with career politicians specifically, and when you get the quote unquote established politicians or the establishment, they're always preying upon centrist point of views, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like whether you're talking
Smart.
about Mitt Romney from the right or like what Hillary was attempting to do from the left, right? Like that's what separated her from Bernie is she took an established or like represented the establishment, and what they're pandering to is the center, because those are the undecideds, right?
Yeah.
The hardcore blue vote blue, the hardcore red vote red, and you're just pandering to the middle, the Libertarian Party and things of that nature. I actually would hope for a different outcome. I would hope to see an extreme right, an extreme left, and a middle party
And a little
emerge.
And a little civil war.
No. I think what I'm basically saying is that I think it's imperative that we create a strong third party. So be it the Libertarian Party or something else. I think that like the closer we come to having a centrist representative, like a true centrist point of view, the more room there is for like the woke left and the hardcore religious right, because now it separates or segregates both the blue and the red to have to make decisions on like what they align with.
You heard it here first. Berkey's starting up that third party up in North Carolina.
That'd be a great place to fucking start.
I mean, you know.
When do you think the last time was that they went any color other than red?
I mean, you know, if you want to start there, you know, you got to start there. All right, check raise from Daniel Negreanu on the blue table. Takes it down. Purple table, we may need a replay as this hand has ballooned to 13,300. Action on Doug Polk. He goes for the all-in size. Nice hand. Goes for the 3x pot. Andrew Flanders in the chat saying, two poker experts pontificating on politics. Thank you for that. I think that I'm also a United States citizen, but you know, that's fine. 10-4-2 Rainbow goes for the half pot. It's called. Goes for the overbet. On the turn gets called, and the river's an ace. And he slams it home. I think that's pretty good. Pretty much he's the only one that can have a fair amount of king queen there.
Yeah, maybe, Daniel's three betting off or suited for sure. Probably pure.
Yeah. Nice hand. Doug Polk up 10K early.
It's always a pleasantry for me to tune into our own stream and get an update on Bitcoin, because I don't look otherwise.
The second, so you had to see, like the second the announcement came, it was just like,
oh, that he was impeached?
Impeached for the second time. It was like, boom! to literally to the second. It was like as soon as the announcement came on the screen.
Right, the first person who confirms it is just like Bitcoin's up 30%.
Dude, I had like the NBC News and like the Coinbase Pro account up simultaneously, and it was just like an amazing. I wish I would have filmed it. It was just like the second it was like Nancy Pelosi announces the motion has passed, and the second that happened, it was like boom. It was like everybody had the button clicked, like ready for her to say it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I wish I knew more. I'm such an ignorant investor, right? Like, I just know, I probably know more about, this is the funny part. I probably know a fair bit more about blockchain than a lot of big investors do, but they know so much more about markets that I just know absolutely nothing about. So all I know is like the tech seems pretty sound, and I think that like, you know, Bitcoin is like the earliest adoption of the tech that seems like the most secure. So it stands to reason that it'll be the Microsoft or Apple or Amazon or whatever you want to call it, like the gold certificate stock.
The one that stays. Yeah, the one that stays.
Right.
So here we saw check call and then a 10% lead on the turn, and an overbet on the river. Doug Polk takes it down. Nice hand.
He just called the turn, yeah.
Daniel called the turn. He called the turn lead for a min bet.
Oh, sorry. I thought the position was reversed. Okay, I see. But yeah, so like, all I know is that Bitcoin effectively represents a blue chip stock, in the regards that I feel like it's relatively safe and it's gonna climb. But man, I just don't fucking know anything about what moves the needle in a market, other than like what you're saying, like, oh, shit's going on in our government. I bet Bitcoin's up today. Weird it is. Shocker. Right? Like, everybody wants to protect against the dollar.
That's how it is, bro. So we see here, check flop. Daniel goes for the 1/3 pot lead, gets raised. He goes for the call. This is no flush draws on board, so Daniel either has a very strong hand or a pair plus piece hand. River is innocuous king, doesn't really change anything. Doug, as the original raiser, check back the flop, turn raise.
He has a lot of 8-9 in range for sure. He definitely has some 5-3 too. Well, 5-3 probably starts betting flop, pretty high rate.
Nice hand. Doug seems to be in control early. 10 minutes in, he's winning some pots.
He pretty much declared victory for Daniel on Twitter. I don't know if you saw. He basically threw up his hands and said, like, yo, I don't got it, man. I don't got it. Mr. T's been in the basement, fist fighting an old punching bag, and, you know, I've been out here on my victory tour. I sent you those screenshots on Christmas. Little Rocky 3 action.
He's soft, bro.
Probably got out of Bitcoin.
Like all of a sudden, just fucking play. Shut your fucking mouth. Just like all of a sudden you lose half of the lead, and you're like, oh no, wait a second. This guy's actually good.
We call that saving face in the industry. He definitely still thinks he's a huge favorite. But you know,
but now he's like, you know, I think I'm a favorite still, but you know, he's very good.
Well, yeah, bro,
you just play the fucking hands.
No, you just set the narrative, man. Like, you set yourself up in a win-win, right? So it's like you just trash this guy, and while you're winning and backing it up, you are just absolutely destroying him, right? And everybody's getting what they thought. Now that he's fighting back and it's super close, you make nice. You say, yo, I got a lot of respect for Real Kid Poker. He's better than he was. You know, he's neutralized this. It's going to be a dogfight down. So now you paint yourself as the hero should you come out a victor.
People fucking fall for this shit or what? Like,
marketing 101, man. This stuff's easy. How do you think the WWE came to be?
Somebody call me that dude. Call me that. What's that dude's name? That's the VP of Upswing Marketing or whatever. Call me that dude. I need to get him on the line right now. What the fuck is this shit? Somebody talk to me. Like, what's going on?
I mean, you can't play the role of the heel whenever all the momentum's in the other direction, you know?
No.
This is a classic double duke.
I need the same energy, bro. Don't be changing
No. This is the
same energy.
Christian, you didn't watch enough wrestling growing up. This is the classic double cross. We've seen it a million times, right? The heel turns babyface, so Polk goes from the enemy to the good guy. We saw it with The Rock, right? He came up and he was like the lovable good guy, and then he boom just turns on Bret the Hitman Hart. Just does it overnight, right? Like, this is the classic double cross.
Listen, Daniel, hands up all times. Always protect yourself at all times. Don't fall for this bullshit. Like, the fuck out of here. Hands up all times. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck this shit of like, oh, you're so good now. I mean, actually, no. Hands up.
Yeah. He's getting him, let his guard down a little bit. Like, hey, man,
hands up. Protect yourself at all times.
I think you're really good. I have a lot of respect for you.
Daniel goes for the 40% on the flop. Queen 9-8. Check. Goes for the pot size bet on the turn. This is good. River King, I think he has to go. Oh, goes for the overbet. Gets snapped.
I like that a lot.
That's a straight.
That is a straight.
I think.
Hand. The hand turn to river for sure is great. Flop, I feel like We probably aren't using that size a ton. Maybe though.
40% is kind of good. I hear on this kind of board. Like, yeah, I think like it's yeah. I think you could go multiple sizes. Like it's kind of like
Well, yeah, no, you can definitely go multiple sizes. I guess I'm more speaking to the balancing it with checking. Like we're not betting range there, is my point.
no.
Overall. So yeah, I guess like I'm not surprised to see some bigger bets come through there and some more checking. But yeah, you're right. You're right. The simple version of that is you just bet big and check and just balance those two nodes. The more complex version is you have multiple sizes and then a check back range as well. So like yeah, assuming he's not only betting 40% there, it seems pretty good. Hiya.
Like there was a flush. Some big hands going back and forth.
Mm-hmm. I can hear Daniel motherfucking through the screen. Always with the backdoor fucking flush draws. When am I gonna hit a backdoor flush?
That's right. Get mad, Daniel.
Nah, Daniel's hit like 3 backdoor flushes and checked the river every time and got it checked down. He also caught Doug in a couple of those too. He was talking about it in his post-game interview last session, I think, where like Doug backdoored into like a pretty nutted hand, but Daniel just happened to roll low and shut down spots where like Doug just had it. Which is always nice. That's kind of like hidden luck.
He's queen 5. Another pot brewing on the right table. It's called 20,000. Flush fills after 3-bet. Might need a replay of this one just for the breakdown. Goes for the third pet. Gets called another flush. Mr. Flush, Doug Polk today.
Mm-hmm. That'll turn the tides really quickly.
So what do you think the chances are of seeing a Daniel Negreanu comeback?
I think we've already seen it.
No, I mean, let's say within 100,000.
Oh, I think it's equally probable that he gets it to minus 100K as it is that he gets back down to minus $1 million. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. It may even be slightly higher probability that he gets it down to minus 100, given that I think Doug's win rate has probably dropped a little. Minus $1 million's a lot.
It is a lot of money. A lot of United States dollars.
Yeah, I mean, just given the remaining hands, they're down to like roughly 10,000, a little bit less. Yeah, I think it's more probable for him to go on a 300K upswing than it is for Doug to go on a 500K upswing, or Daniel to go on a 500K downswing, whichever way you want to look at it. Or maybe not more probable, but equally as probable. Because the reality is it would actually be like $1 million upswing or 900K upswing.
Let's go, Daniel. The cards don't remember who won yesterday.
I think we'll see a close match down the stretch. But I also think that like variance is going to play a pretty big role. Like as the number of hands becomes fewer and fewer and fewer, the short-term results are going to be dictated a lot more by who the deck picks that day. So if somebody gets an overwhelming amount of the deck picking them, kind of like we suppose that Doug may have in the first half, but it was also amplified by the fact that he definitely did have a win rate over Daniel at that point, right? Like he was significantly better for the first third, maybe the first half of this challenge.
Yeah, I mean, the man has played, he was playing Heads Up No Limit for years. My man was playing for a month.
Yeah.
It's like a Ferrari versus a Volkswagen, It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Had to get fucking Daniel in the lab, get him souped up. Jay Roberts says, I think Daniel Negreanu only losing 100K is a huge win for him. He'll get that back and then some in his regular games and WSOP.
He'll get that back and then some with the fucking price he was laid. He got like 7 big blinds per 100 or something.
rumor is there is a bet out there that where he is being laid big blinds. So I'm sure that would be nice for him, for sure.
What up, KZ Killer? Says sup Alpha Rex. I gotta start streaming again, man. I miss the Alpha Rex. It's been a minute. Oh, chat's on fire today. What up, Odyssey? Thanks for holding it down per usual. My man.
If any ladies out there want to see my man Poker Odyssey's body, it's out there on Instagram every day. I have temporarily silenced Poker Odyssey's story.
We gotta get a graphic on screen. His Odyssey is just too difficult to spell for the general. I mean, I have to look it up often, so we want to make sure those thirst traps get circulated.
What is an Odyssey?
Are you not familiar with Homer's The Odyssey?
No. The what?
It's mythic. I'm gonna mispronounce this word. I always do. Mythology.
Yeah, mythology, like Greek mythology or whatever.
It's not Greek, but yeah, or maybe it is Greek. But yeah, effectively, like Homer is, Odysseus is the main character, and he's, going on this Odyssey. I don't know. I honestly don't remember too much of the story. I remember there were sirens.
Odysseus is like the Greek version of Ellipse. Ellipse's out there killing it.
There's like a lot of references to this in pop culture. I remember there was maybe a DuckTales episode where they made a reference to the sirens. So the sirens were like these beautiful women with like mermaid bodies that Odysseus and his crew saw while they were sailing, and they sang this like sweet song that lured the men in, and then they like ate them or whatever. I don't remember how they escaped that one.
Check flop.
You didn't have to read this in high school?
No.
Yeah, the Odyssey and the Iliad.
We read like Shakespeare and shit.
Yeah, same. I think we had to read the Odyssey and the Iliad, which is the sequel.
Jersey didn't care about that shit. 3 bets on both tables.
We gotta get you cultured, man.
Says I have more culture than you. What are you talking about? Because it's American or Greek or shit. Like, I know about Spanish people shit.
The conquistadors.
Sure. Those are my people's heard. King Jack 3 bet quarter pot. Call. Problematic card potentially for one of these two players. Queen of Spades.
This music is very chilled today.
Get cultured, eat yogurt.
This is what Chin listened to when he's talking to the shorties.
No. This is like, I ain't trying to put them to sleep.
Nah, it's baby making music, man.
I ain't trying to have no baby.
Sure.
Turn checks through on the Queen of Spades. Danny goes with another check. That's 2 pair. Hits him with the 3 bet with the King of Clubs.
Hello. I forget who I was talking about the other day. And I was like, yeah, like you're doing commentary on Heads Up, and it's a spot where like King 5 gets 3 bet and Showdown, and you just go, yeah, it's a mix. Some of the time you have to 3 bet the King 5. It's going to be a relatively low frequency, yada, yada, yada. And they're like, what are you talking about? You would just criticize that because that's fucking awful. I go, no, not Heads Up. We 3 bet everything.
4 bet from Doug Polk. 10,400 gets called. King 5 deuce. Very good board for Doug Polk.
I actually think that, like, I know that this is probably obvious, but by the time we've watched 40 sessions of this at an average of 3 hours per session, like, I don't know, I just feel personally more comfortable in 4-bet pots at 1.5 SPR suddenly than I ever have in the past. And it's like I just feel like I've watched 150 spots where it went like 4-bet call, king 5 deuce 2 spades. And it's just like, okay, I know how this plays out. We're gonna go small bet flop. Gonna check call. Turn. I actually think this is gonna check if Daniel checks. I think he can be all in on this card sometimes, but probably not much. I think Doug checks back here though.
Most of the pattern we've seen here has been small bet again.
Yeah, that's fair. I think on king high board, so I think if we would have saw a different turn card, Doug would have been maybe more apt to be all in. But particularly on the 5, I think he probably does a lot more small betting since he's kind of in a way ahead, way behind type of scenario.
Oh, Danny has ace 5 of spades.
I think that's more probable to be in his calling range than like. I mean, he's facing a small size, so technically he probably should have some like ace 3, ace 4, but I think he might just like stick it in with those. Blocking ace king, blocking aces, having a gut shot to the nuts, maybe being able to deny some equity. Who knows? I think like when he does have ace 5 of spades. Oh, hello. How?
9s. Winner.
He would have been sick if he got jammed on the river.
He would have been sick, but what are your thoughts on Doug Polk's play there? I feel like you always like criticize Daniel when he takes a line like this and gives up.
Well, Daniel stopped doing it for what it's worth, so I think the criticism was warranted. Like he kind of spoke about this in his post game too, where he said when he was first learning, he was just trying to fit everything into the mold of these restrictive sizes. So he's like, yeah, I did a lot of like things I wouldn't do now, like small bet turn and big bloated pots. I think on that particular card, Doug's pretty heavily incentivized to small bet. But like I said, I think on a different card, be it a 10, specifically probably a 10 jack, queen, king, or ace. Maybe not a king. 10 jack, queen, ace. I think Doug is more prone to being all in at that stack depth. I think when middle pair pairs and it's the non-flush draw card, in position is just like way ahead, way behind. So the only thing we see is like small bets and checks.
And you like the river give up?
I don't know what he had. I assume he had ace high.
Yeah, it does feel like an ace high combo, right?
Yeah. How much ace high do we think we need to bet on the turn though? Like how much ace queen do we really need to be betting on that turn 5? It feels like that should be more like queen jack, but the river was a jack, so obviously that's not what he had.
James Harden is going to the wow, I almost said New Jersey Nets, to the Brooklyn Nets.
Really?
A major blockbuster trade goes down, gets overshadowed by Trump's impeachment. But yes, James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets today.
In exchange for?
The Nets gave up fucking dust. Jared Allen, Karis Levert, and draft picks.
They have Harden. They have
Harden. They have Irving.
Yeah.
Kyle.
And
Kyrie Irving, and then they also have
KD. No.
KD, baby.
That's wild. The reuniting. We'll go with that.
Well, yeah, James Harden and KD are reuniting for sure.
Yeah.
It's that's gonna be an interesting one. That's
Where's
three
Westbrook now?
Westbrook came from Oklahoma City as well.
No, but where is he now?
Oh, where is he?
Yeah.
I think he landed on. Oh, I just saw this too. I almost forgot. The chat will tell us. But he's not in Houston anymore.
Wait, he was in Houston? Yeah. Yeah.
The chat will tell us.
Yeah. But he got moved for sure, right?
Yeah, he didn't like that shit. Houston just gave up. They're just like, fuck it.
Bro, they were stacked. At one point, it was CP3, Westbrook, and Harden all at once, right?
Yeah. No, not CP3.
Or is he there now?
I feel like Westbrook is in Houston now, and maybe they and then CP3's gone somewhere. I don't know. I kind of have been like, this year has been like too crazy. Like, I haven't like restarted watching basketball yet. It's too early.
Oh, he says they said he's on the Wizards.
Oh yeah. So they traded him for John Wall.
That's kind of the thing is Westbrook's so fucking dominant, man.
Yeah, but John Wall's like
John Wall's nice. Yeah.
He doesn't even play basketball. This guy's injured every day. He hasn't played basketball in 2 years.
But like, he's nice when he's on the court.
Yeah, sure.
He's like, what was his name in Chicago? That was like GOAT, but always hurt.
And like,
he was from Chicago.
Baseball?
No. He was from Chicago. They drafted him. He won MVP like one of his first 2 seasons. Why can't I think of who?
Oh, Derrick Rose.
Yeah, Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
That's how much of an afterthought he's become.
Yeah. He's yeah. That's unfortunate. He got a knee injury. Never was the same.
Okay, yeah. So Westbrook's on Houston now. They traded CP3 for Westbrook.
Ain't nobody want to play with Westbrook, man. Everybody leaves. I want to know how fucking James Harden plays so good. He's so fat.
Is he though? Like, I saw some contradictory things. So I saw a video of him shooting on. Did they have a preseason this year, or did they just jump right into the season?
So.
Okay, so it must have been like day 1 of the season, and there was this video going viral of him shooting threes. He was not missing, but the first shot was like from a side angle, catching him on the left, and he looked fat as fuck, man. He looked so fat. But then there was another angle that caught him like at like a 45-degree angle, and he was moving. So he was like moving with the ball and then taking jumpers, and he looked so lean. I'm just like, one of these is moving. A super like one of these is a massive optical illusion.
Nah, he's fat. He's definitely fat. Like as soon as it came, like as soon as the trade went down, there was like a bunch of like posts and memes saying like these are all the spots in Brooklyn for donuts.
Eugene Green said, I read a comment that said Kyrie Irving burnt sage to make the bad energy go away, and then he left the team. You didn't need to read the comment. I saw the video of it. He was walking through Brooklyn Stadium or arena or whatever with like sage. Like fucking
wow.
Some weirdo who believes in energy and shit.
So Dominic says the Houston's owner is broke, needs to dump salary. Okay, let's look up who the Houston Rockets owner is.
Wait, I think we know who the Houston Rockets owner is. Doesn't he own a bunch of casinos?
I think he came to the academy or something.
No. What the fuck is his last name? Malou?
How about you fucking you type in like Houston Rockets owner, or like first thing is like racist. Like the hell?
Oh, because what wasn't that over like the Chinese the China thing?
I know what you're talking about.
I think he made
his name is Tillman.
Tillman,
Furtada.
yes. Tillman Furtada. He owns the Golden Nugget, I think.
Okay, so maybe that's what it is.
I'm not entirely positive, but I'm pretty sure that's true. He's actually, Katie Stone knows him pretty well. She used to be a ball girl for Houston.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. There's a lot of stories on him. A lot of stories. Let's see. I am curious what he does own. He definitely. I mean, I don't think he's going broke. It says like his net worth is $4.6 billion.
Yo, how's Daniel sitting out already? Yeah, but half of that's probably the Rockets. What's it called?
Like that asset.
Yeah, it's probably the appraisal of the Rockets. Like, what did the Clippers sell for? $2 billion?
Bro, the Clippers ain't going nowhere. That man is super rich.
There he is.
All right,
look, he's just working the sage. Wait, did they send him back to Boston?
Nah, that was.
Oh, it was against Boston.
That's hilarious, bro.
What a whack job, man. He's so fucking smart. Like, you can't be an idiot and just go to Duke for 4 years or however long he was there. Could you imagine dapping somebody up while you were staging the fucking arena?
I don't know, man. First of all, he went to Duke 1 year, I think.
Oh, was he one and done?
Yeah, I think he was one and done, dude.
That's fair.
Yo, that's crazy right there.
What a weird league we're dealing in. When a guy like Kevin Durant and LeBron James have been on 3 different teams in their career.
It's a new world, man. It's a crazy world.
Wild.
So Furtada does own the Golden Nuggets casinos. He also owns another company named Landry's, which is just a Texas-based restaurant and entertainment company.
I heard he's trying to get a casino license in Houston.
Well, he did lose some backing from the owner of the Venetian, the former owner.
Oh, right. Adelson was attempting to do the same. I don't think anything's going to change now that he's dead. I think his son's just going to carry on his legacy and basically just keep promoting the same type of narrative.
Is his son like taking over the business, I guess?
I think so, yeah. I remember whenever Sheldon got sick, like 6 months ago or whatever, the common narrative was that his son swore he would keep up the fight to ban online gaming and shit like that.
I just don't see how you can. I mean, feel so.
It's good for their land-based. Yeah, but it's good for their land-based business, you know.
Yeah, I get it.
And they have all the money to pay lobbyists. Unfortunate give up there by Daniel.
1800 in the middle. Check. Odyssey says, I wonder how much the line has shifted and if the Lakers are still favorites, can make a lot of money if they are not.
I mean, they have to still be, right? Like, let's not forget that it's LeBron and AD on the same fucking team.
Yeah. That is.
And that's what we favored in the East. The East sucks.
3-bet pot. King 10-9 all diamonds.
Everybody's talking about Kyrie believing in the earth is flat. I think that he has since done a video or something of that nature, basically admitting that he got bad information and fell down a rabbit hole.
Check another diamond. Furtada paid $320 million for the Golden Nugget Casino on Fremont Street.
I would say that seems cheap, but that place is a fucking hole. Yo, I was playing a big game up there 1 week. I don't know why we were running it there. I guess because like nobody would ever go to the Nugget unless they knew about it. So we were playing like 20, 40, 80 maybe. It was a pretty big game. There was probably like, I don't know, 300,000 or 400,000 on the table. And as the game got short, it was like me, DJ AF, the Bellagio Bandit, and a couple other DGens. And it was like 5 a.m. or so, and I went to the bathroom. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, man. I go and check it out, and there's just this fucking crackhead in there just like shooting up in the corner.
That's crazy, dude.
And I'm just like, all right, welcome to Old Vegas. This is how we roll.
Oh, man.
Like, there was constantly homeless people in the bathrooms and shit.
Okay, so the Rockets owner is hellbent, this is quoting, hellbent on reducing payroll, avoiding luxury tax. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. It's definitely one of the reasons to get rid of James Harden. Doug Polk up 1 buy-in.
He's had a lot of good hands.
Definitely has had a fair amount of good hands. Mr. Doug Polk today. The LeBron versus KD talk has begun in the chat.
Man, Daniel's just had a lot of good bluffing candidates that are getting picked off. Was that king high?
I believe so.
Hurts. You have to be careful about the basketball talk, man. With Odyssey, we'll lose the chat forever. There have been like 2-hour stretches where like I just don't even talk on my live stream because they're just going hard about LeBron versus Jordan.
I mean, that one's easy.
You hate LeBron.
I didn't even say anything. All I said was that was easy.
I know where you're going. You hate LeBron.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that one was easy. LeBron versus Jordan's easy.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine having a discussion about AD, LBJ, KD, Harden, Westbrook, and then out of nowhere, just bringing up Oladipo?
Oladipo. Oladipo's in the mix, bro.
Oh, man.
Oladipo.
I do wonder if guys like Harden and Westbrook can win championships. Like, they just demand so many touches.
We're going to find out, Burke.
I think it's going to be tough for, like, Harden to share touches with KD. The last time they were together, Harden was the sixth man of the year.
Yeah.
Now he's the MVP. Year in and year out.
That was a Russell Westbrook problem. Like, Russell Westbrook got more touches. He shot the ball more than KD, and KD was an infinitely better scorer than he was.
Yeah, but that didn't turn out to be the case once he moved to Golden State and now to the Nets, right? Like, he's progressively become more and more of the guy. He shared the rock a little bit in Golden State, but with Steph hurt a lot, he was the guy. And now in the Nets, like, he's clearly the guy. You bring in Harden, who's how many MVPs has he won in the last 5 years? At least 2.
I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I feel like, I don't know. I'm curious. I think we should just fast forward to the NBA Finals. It's like, okay, Lakers versus Nets. Let's go. Like,
I think hockey started today.
That's super white sport. I don't know what's going on with there.
Penguins versus Flyers, baby. Let's go. Look at that.
How many? I'm gonna look up how many Spanish people are in hockey.
Huge river raise by Daniel. Looking at something like 1.2x pot.
All right, here we go. The NHL's next frontier, Spanish hockey. That's what it says, bro.
That's wild. They turn into like baseball where they start farming players out of the Dominican. Plucking them out when they're like 14, getting them on ice.
That's crazy, bro.
How would you feel if like some random white dude from Russia showed up to your school at age 14 and looked at you as like, can you skate?
How Spanish hockey announcers translate the game.
That's the next frontier.
That's my next gig, Burke. I'm gonna be fucking commentating fucking hockey in Spanish.
Commentating hockey on the Ocho.
For ESPN Deportes.
Pot. I remember when betting more than the pot was a novelty. I miss those days.
Third pot. He's 10-6. 10. See if we see leads here from Daniel. He could also do some checks. He does go with the 10% lead, or just about. Min bet. Raise. Fold. Nice hand, Doug Polk. 80,000 on the right table.
Womp, womp, womp. Cameron says, "Yo, Berkey, is Big Ben coming back for another year?" If it's up to him, yes. I'm fairly confident of it. But the Steelers have a lot to work out. I think they're... man, I don't know how they don't lose both Connor and Juju in free agency. And people were saying that it's almost a certainty that Bud Dupree's gone too, which creates massive holes. Like, for anybody who's paying attention this year, the Steelers season went down the drain when Dupree got hurt. So I don't know how they fill that role. They have massive cap issues. Ben would have to rework his contract somehow. Right now, I think he's a $22 million cap hit this upcoming year. And that's if they let him go.
How much money did Ben pay to that chick, bro?
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Stop it, bro.
You talk a lot of shit, man. Like, you act like as if it wouldn't be that outrageous for claims to be made against people with a lot of money and status. I don't know what happened. Maybe he did it.
Let's look it up.
Maybe he did.
Look it up.
Who fucking knows? I wasn't there.
Here we go. All right. Looks like Ben Roethlisberger, quarterback, twice accused of sexual assault.
Your man Kobe was accused of fucking rape. I don't hear you talking about that. Looking up those stats.
Bro, let the man rest in peace.
Oh,
bro.
now let's let him rest in peace. He was a good dude. He was married when he was raping.
Bro, he didn't rape her. They actually went to trial.
A lot of evidence. He was at least cheating. Bro. Bare minimum, he was cheating.
He said he cheated. He was like, he did the interview. He was like, yeah, I was wrong.
Oh,
and then, but he's like,
okay then.
But, and then his wife forgave him. That's between them two. You know what I'm saying?
He gave her a
$30
million rock.
And then they did the whole investigation. They found Shorty's fucking underwear with a bunch of other semen around. And they were like, all right, obviously he didn't rape you. You're just a hoe.
How?
That was it.
How is that the conclusion you come up with? Jesus
That's what happened,
Christ.
Bro. That's what happened. What do you mean?
That is by no stretch of the imagination an objective narrative.
How's that? That's what happened, though.
Just because she had other semen doesn't somehow exclude the possibility of.
Nah, but I mean, come on, get out of here. This is crazy. Come on. At least watch that shit. What the fuck?
Such an idiot.
Or get some new underwear. If you're trying to sleep with Kobe, at least get some new underwear. That's just insane. That's wild, bro. If I meet some shorty in Denver or whatever, at least I would like her to get some new underwear.
You're out of your fucking mind.
You want the chick with the old underwear on?
I don't want to touch this fucking conversation with a 10-foot pole. What up, Jamin? What's good?
Sometimes the conversation gets a little too heated for Berkey. You know what I'm saying? A little bit too much. He gets a little mad if you talk about his man Big Ben. I like that. You stand up for your boy.
I'm just saying that it was never beyond the accusation phase.
Let's see. Nah, but he settled it. That's what happened. That's why I meant how much did he pay? But hey, shit happens. That is kind of scary though. You did tell me one time that's one of your biggest fears, getting accused of something you didn't do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm small potatoes, but the world moves forward through currency exchange and leverage, and there are bad actors in the world on both sides. Those that prey upon their status and power, and those who get preyed upon. So it's difficult whenever you get into he said, she said battles because you want to empower victims to come forward and you want to find ways to police bad behavior. But at the same token, you also don't want to create some sort of loophole where it's like an easy path to a payday.
Just want to make it clear that I think that guys should also get the new underwear. It's not only a woman thing.
You're an idiot.
I'm just saying. I just want to make it clear, you know.
Silverlicious says nothing personal, but I'm on Browns cloud 9. I'm actually happy for you guys, to be quite honest.
Wow.
I am. I'm rooting for them. They've suffered long enough.
I don't think you would have said that if it was the Ravens.
Oh, I don't want them to win a Super Bowl. No, I hate. It's weird. I have grown to hate the Ravens more than the Browns, but I think it's because the Browns haven't been competitive. Which is like really difficult to hate the team that's like fucking 4-12 every year. Drafted 32 different quarterbacks in the last fucking decade and a half.
Sometimes I get random messages like, "Who trained Helmuth?" Like, I don't know. I'm like, no one.
Yeah, for sure. Brandon Cantu. I don't understand what this poll means.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just out there.
Mm-hmm. Go Ravens. Ban this person. I'm kidding. Don't ban anybody. You're fucking drunk with power. August Attenberg says, anyone care to help me out with understanding unblocking in poker? I understand what blocking means, but what does it mean when you unblock something? Is it that when holding a hand, it makes it more likely? I think what you're trying to say was, yo, I was fucking around. Why you gotta block Lucky Libra?
Yo, my man James out there saying, oh, sorry, not James. Jamin or Jamin. Fuck, which one is it?
Jamin.
Jamin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Only I'm allowed to call him Jamin.
Jamin was like, he said, I once got arrested for beating my girlfriend. Not only did I not lay a hand on her, I was on CBS at an Iowa State game at the time of the alleged beating. It was scary dealing with that. That's crazy, right? Like, you get accused of something, you weren't even there.
Yeah. I mean, when I say that my greatest fear is a false accusation, it's not like domestic violence or anything like that. Though I do think that like there's a certain power exchange there, both between two people and the law. My bigger concern would be like having to deal with something. That's a good hint. Like, do you know the story of the hurricane? Denzel made a movie about it. You should watch it. It's really good. I think
the hurricane.
In the 60s, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember. No, the movie was recent. It was in the 60s. I can't recall what the guy's real name was, but he was a heavyweight boxer. Yeah. Okay. And he got accused of murder.
This is on Netflix, by the way. I'm gonna watch it today.
Yeah, it's really good. Based on true story. So he got like accused of murder, and all of the circumstantial evidence and otherwise pointed to the fact that like there's no way he could have done it. And I think he did 30 years in prison maybe before finally being released. Like, that's my greatest fear of anything in the world, is that somehow, some way, like one day I just wake up and there are police at the door accusing me of like murder, and I don't have like a proper alibi, or like the evidence somehow is skewed towards me in a way that doesn't make any sense to me because I couldn't have done it.
It's true. That is crazy though.
Oh yeah, Lily brought up a fun one. I watched this. This was really great. This movie called The Long Shot. It's a documentary about this guy who was accused. I can't remember what crime it was. It was I think it was murder. I'm almost positive it was murder. But he was accused of murder and he was exonerated because they were able to prove he was actually in the stands at the Dodgers game.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah,
he was like Mexican.
Yeah. It was wild because the video technology back then wasn't great. So there was like game. There was like some doubt as to whether or not it was him. But eventually, like, by the end,
it was an LA Dodger game, and then they had to like go through the stands, and they found him in the stands.
Mhm.
with his kids.
Yeah. But she's right. It had something to do with Seinfeld, I think, also.
Yeah, they were filming the Seinfeld.
Oh,
like,
that's right. Yeah.
They were filming an episode of Seinfeld in.
That's
in
right. The
LA Dodgers.
actual baseball coverage couldn't pick him up, but somehow randomly he got into the backdrop of like a Seinfeld episode, and they were able to identify.
That's wild. Yeah, I saw that. That was really wild. 3/4 pot on the turn.
Yeah, Odyssey's right. It was Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Gets called through the turn. We might need a replay of this hand. Although the left table as well is getting heated. Oh boy, there's some huge pots.
Let's go.
River fills the backdoor spades.
Daniel's got the nuts. I know it.
This is like slightly better river for. This is kind of a neutral river.
Daniel has nuts on both.
Probably. I hope so.
I'm just saying it right now.
All of it.
Snap. God damn it, no snap.
All of it.
Oh no, he's not gonna call in either. He's definitely not calling on the right. Yeah, I was pretty sure he's folding there.
Daniel in the tank. Probably has like a queen with something that he's trying to decide if it's good enough. He does fold.
Yeah, I think ace queen with a spade is probably a good call.
Oh yeah.
Queen 9, queen of spades is probably a good call.
2 pots for Doug. Turnover bet after the check line. Doug takes it down, creeping on 100,000.
That was fast.
Doug up 80,000 for the day so far. We're approaching 1 hour of gameplay today. $85,000 an hour, no big deal. These are high stakes. Do the Solve for Y guys want some free gaming chairs?
Yeah. Yeah. You had me at free. Whose dick does Chin have to suck? That's all I want to know.
Whoa, bro. Listen. Then all of a sudden they start accusing me of rape, and then we start this whole entire thing again. Eric Tibetow says, going to be a short session. Daniel is down, and NHL starts tonight.
Oh, that's probably true, actually.
Oh, micro stakes with a ... I think single dot is a break, though. Single line is a break. I think he needs a break.
He's never taken a break. Think he's doing a victory lap?
All I know is I don't want to see no fucking tweets anymore. Just fucking play the hands.
You're very welcome, Dom. Very well deserved. He mentioned that he was happy that we created a coaching marketplace on our Slack. He's just been getting crushed. Or, sorry, he's just been crushing it. Sent a lot of recs his way. I think Dom's a very good one-on-one coach. Chat's fired today.
Cash Money asking, how tough are the ACR loaded mixed stakes games compared to other sites? Compared to like a WSOP.com site, it's probably, compared to WSOP.com, it's probably significantly tougher. Compared to non-American sites, I'm not really sure. Silverlicious. Why you pick that name? Anyway. Says Jamin Burton, always a joy to watch. You're on my must-watch list. Good luck as always. I agree. I think his vlogs are very good. I think they were very entertaining. And I'm always looking forward to the Arya Tryhards line.
I love that. That was when I first started watching Jamin. I think we watched it together. I was like, I like this dude. Pretty much summed up my experience playing live cash. All these fucking tryhards. Seat swapping, min raising, card check backing. Oh, I hate the fake check back. I hate it so bad. Well, let me check and see if I have a diamond. You fucking know if you have a diamond or not. Get out of here.
Maybe they don't know which one it is. You know, they don't know. They got Ace of Diamonds, King of Hearts. They don't know if it's the King of Diamonds or the, you know. They forget.
I forget. I'm old and lazy. I don't remember my hand.
There's not a lot of attention span nowadays in, you know, the new generation. Berk. There's like, you know, the phone.
Well, I figured that they would already have their hand highlighted on their range chart by the time we got to the
That's
flop.
true. Those motherfuckers are cheating, bro. Anyway, 40% pot, 5-5 deuce rainbow after the 3-bet from Daniel. Call. Backdoor hearts 8. Daniel going through a plethora of decisions. Goes with a check. Faces half pot. Pretty threatening. Fold. Steve has Harden to the Nets. That is correct. Harden is now on the Brooklyn Nets.
While Daniel sits out, let me run a quick spot by multi-way pot. MP versus small blind versus big blind. Okay, so 3x call any game. Original razor has 10s. Comes ace 5 deuce 2 diamonds. Checks through. 10 of diamonds is in our hand. Turn 3 of diamonds.
Ace 5 deuce 3.
Yep. 3 diamonds now. Let me think. Okay, so 40% pot
from the small blind.
Yep. Fold call. River offsuit 10. Third pot.
Yeah, call.
You never raise?
I mean, it depends how bad this guy is, I guess.
Does it though?
Like,
you think sets just check river?
No, but they have to call.
Yeah, I mean,
They have to call the raise. It's kind
I
of
don't think sets are block folding. We don't have any 4x, or very little anyway. And we definitely have bluffs.
Well, we also need to like.
I mean, we certainly have bluffs. We definitely have like plenty of king, queen, king, jack with a diamond. Even kings can potentially turn itself into a bluff. I don't think that can bluff catch river.
It's just like if you raise and he calls, like you don't even always win. Like you just like lose to a flush or a 4.
Yeah, you get value cut sometimes. How much 4x is flatting out the small?
Oh, not a lot. Like 4, 5, ace 4, 4s.
Yeah. Ace 4 probably not in full, but yeah. 4, 5 probably not in full. Would you raise aces?
It's kind of the same though.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like kind of better to raise. It's like better to raise 10s than aces.
Yeah, he doesn't really have 10s that much, and he could potentially bet call ace x.
I think raise is okay. I mean, it has to be like pretty small though. Probably like something super dusty. And like, but the problem is like you're repping polar, so you want to go big. But then if you go big, you can't.
No, I don't think you have to rep polar. Not on.
I mean, you're repping king of diamonds in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, but like you can value raise wider than that. Like you're obviously value raising a 4. So like your bluffs don't specifically only have to block king of diamonds. So when you size down, you just bluff a little less frequently, that's all. I think like, yeah, I said
I don't know, man. I think it's too thin.
I said 2.5x raise.
Can't be bad. It just feels weird. Just feels like you get called and then you just lose.
It just seems crazy to like bet fold 2 pair of sets. And I don't think those hands want to check call. Maybe though, maybe. But the problem is that like we just have a lot of 1 pair ace x that checks down that would have maybe bluff caught.
But he also just has a flush and a 4. Like
sure, yeah, there are some of those.
We need
the
to raise
the ace of diamonds is out. Like he doesn't have a ton of flushes. He has to have not 3-bet the small blind.
Can't be awful to raise, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think I personally just call, but maybe I'm leaving some money on the table. I don't know.
What if it was against your man that you told could play better?
Oh, I'm raising, bro.
Okay.
That's a special person, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was a layup raise. He had 5.
Yeah, against certain people, you're just like willing to raise, and if they raise, you're just like, I still call, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but yeah. Four bet from Doug. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Queen. Oh, how the deck just quickly corrects things. We haven't seen that. I will say that much. We've seen Daniel have aces versus Doug's kings twice, and they're 1-1. I feel like we've seen Doug have aces versus Daniel's like jacks, queens, whatever, a fair amount, and they've just all held.
Come on. Why we gotta get cooler, bro? It's bullshit.
I hope I hope this doesn't go the other way in the sense that like it just all goes one way today. I don't think I can bear to see like a $250,000 day.
It can happen, bro.
Like, so easy.
Variance is so crazy. Like it's not just like 6 binds. It's like $250,000. It's like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
6 binds, $250,000. See you later. Nice to have a nice day.
Just recorrect. This happens on the reg.
Aces versus queens. That's all it takes. Dug up 140.
Quick 140.
Not that much though, right? Only 3 binds. It's like so wild. Like the numbers are just so big. Are you guys Team Doug or Team Polk? I am.
Team Doug or Team Polk? Nice fucking question.
Sorry, Team Daniel or Team Polk. Sorry. That question's from Via Thos.
Little Freudian slip for you there, Chin. You heavy on the Doug side.
Fuck Doug. Get the fuck out of here. I've never been Doug's side. Ain't no Doug side for me, bro. I appreciate he's a great. I think he's a great player. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Corey Jean says Doug winning 300K today. I don't know. We'll see.
300.
More aces versus queens. That can happen.
Yeah, that's lofty expectations.
Zachary says it's a call at low stakes and a raise at 510 plus. Referring to your tens question.
I don't want to discredit Reeds here. Yeah, I understand what he's saying. Basically, he's saying like nobody's block betting worse than a straight at low stakes. I think that's a fair assessment. But if that's the case, then it's just a fold. Because they're not bluffing.
Just a fold to the bet?
Well, if what you're saying is that they're never block betting with worse than a straight, then yeah, it's just a fold. Because nobody's bluffing at that size at low stakes either. That's also kind of my counter argument too, is that like, if we assume that his block bet is so imbalanced that he doesn't have calls worse than a set of tens, then we should just be considering folding at a pretty reasonable frequency, I think.
I ain't folding no set, bro.
Yeah, no shit. You're not folding because he's obviously blocking with worse. I guess like what's getting conflated is the idea that somebody constructs their block betting range so well that they never make calling mistakes. But truth of the matter is, like, a lot of the sets will perform okay. Especially like a hand like a set of fives would be blocking one of our most common fours in 5-4 from that spot, right? So like, yeah, that's a pretty good hand to block call with. Can't really expect us to have aces ever. We're only going to have the combos of tens with the 10 of diamonds, that kind of thing. And you beat the other sets if they're over there. Like the
chat has a lot of opinions. If it's a fold on the river, then it's a fold on the turn. How can you call the turn and then fold the 10 river?
Well, you have equity with your diamond draw. But I agree. I don't want to fold river. Maybe we bluff them off a 4 sometimes if we bomb it.
The merge bluff.
The old merge bluff. Calls with 5s, folds a 4.
I haven't merged bluff in a while. I feel like I should bring that back.
Every time you do it, you have king queen. Always a different texture, but like it's just always king queen.
Pop brewing on the right table. Daniel 3-bet, went for 40% on the flop, 8-7-3, turn 8 after getting flop raised by Doug.
This is pretty bad for Daniel. It's both bad and good, right? It reduces the amount of sets and 8x that Doug could possibly have. We assume Doug's not doing a ton of raising with just like. Well, the thing is on this texture though, I think he does raise like 8-9 plus, which makes it pretty difficult for Daniel moving forward. I don't think Doug is small betting a 7 here. He doesn't need to protect. So I think this small bet is going to be a lot of draws and 8x.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird
fair.
scenarios where a small bet is actually pretty polarized.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't think he raises a 7 that often on the flop either. So.
That's fair. You don't think he ever uses any of his 7 with backdoors like a7 of spades?
It's tough because it's a 3-bet pot. So, like, getting blown off that equity kind of sucks.
Yeah, you're right. Getting 3-bet on that flop, though, really doesn't occur much.
It might, like, Daniel just has 2 10s. He just slams it home.
Yeah, that's true. I guess when you get 3-bet, having the ace blocker doesn't help because it's not aces that's doing it.
Mm-hmm. Good. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. If
No, you're probably right. Like maybe like 10-7 would be a better raise. Like 10-7 with a backdoor, 10-7 of spades. That actually seems like it would be pretty strong.
Chin, do you think there's a better chance of Daniel getting within 100K of even, or Doug ended up close to $1 million again?
Wow, it's like we already said something about this.
Yeah, we did speak about this briefly today, but I do think that there's a better chance of Daniel getting close to 100K. I think Daniel's playing very well, and it's all going to come down to variance at the end of the day, but I do think that getting closer to 100K is more probable than $1 million for Doug. Not by like, I don't think it's like a landslide thing. I just think that it's slightly more probable.
Yeah. I said I thought that it was probably like even likelihood. That's
I think that's
maybe
fair.
slightly less true now that Doug is up 4.5 binds or 4.
Right. I mean, we mentioned that. Yeah, we mentioned that at the beginning of the show where it was even. What did you guys bet? I have a bet on the Daniel side.
Me as well.
Of an undisclosed amount, but nothing too ridiculously large. It'll hurt. It won't even hurt. It would just be like a sting, like damn it.
When I made the bet, I was risking. I mean, we bet in US dollars, but the equivalent was I was risking 1 Bitcoin to win 4 Bitcoins. By the time the bet gets settled, I'm effectively going to be risking 1/4 of a Bitcoin to win.
Oh, must be that's fine. So you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. What are you gonna do?
Well, the dollar amount still remains the same.
Well, soon we won't even be using that shit soon.
That's true.
We
did say that I wanted more Bitcoin at the time, so I was like, yeah, man, we can settle in Bitcoin for sure. But he's getting paid in cash. What's your wire information?
Mm-hmm. Tejas Patel is back.
My man.
Says BTC. It is kind of weird, right? We're like a community that's like really heavy into something that no other community kind of is outside of, their own community, right? Like I just don't like, obviously the tech community, the poker community, and obviously BTC's community, but like I just don't feel, and then maybe now financial markets, right? But like I just don't see, like, it's kind of random that poker got chosen.
I don't think it's random. I think that poker is a market in some degree, and most people are pretty sharp. So I think that we're pretty good at identifying long shot investments, and we're obviously very good at risk assessment. So something that may look like very high risk with marginal to low reward to the average person looks like a no-brainer to us of at most moderate risk with a really high upside. We also like do our own research and follow through with due diligence.
Fair enough. I do still think it's kind of awkward though. Like it's like It just doesn't happen that often. Whereas like, you know, just
It was
doesn't
the
happen
same
that
when
often.
DFS
That, like,
became a thing, right? Like our community just dove in head first. It was like, let's tear this apart, see where it's weak. And within 18 months, everybody was just like, yep, can't beat the rake. Everyone move on.
you know, I think what's his name? Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He could beat the rake.
He is beating the rake. The elites will always beat the rake. That's not a question.
You guys put in any bets during the challenge or all beforehand? I put in a bet during the challenge. Doug was winning like 250 or so. It was like right after they played online, right? So right after they played online, Doug had like some pretty big wins early, and I got a really good price. So I said, okay.
Man, I almost doubled down on Dnegs after last session. I'm glad I didn't. I was looking to get like 9 or 10 to 1.
You scared of the variance, bro?
No, I'm just saying like I can, if I'm gonna do it, I can get a way better price now.
Don't be scared of the variance, bro.
To be honest though, it's like I don't even want a price. I just want big blinds. I want a cushion. Yeah. You know, I want a spread.
You could get it. I think you could get it.
Yeah.
I think you could get like 6 big blinds from now to the end.
I don't think that's enough.
You don't think that's enough?
Ah, he's losing. Oh, you're saying like from that point on?
From now to the end, you get 6 bigs.
I see. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty good.
I think that's pretty sharp. I mean, I think he's losing like 2 or 3.
Yeah, maybe. It's so difficult to measure.
It is. I'm literally guessing.
Because like there was a debate about Landon playing somebody that I think Landon definitely has edge on, and my best guess was he's winning like 7 blinds per 100, 7, 10 maybe if I'm underestimating, and he thinks like he's winning a minimum of 15 upwards to 25.
Is this the same person we're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, you're good, man, but like I'm not positive you're winning 25 against like Joe Reck, who doesn't do anything correct. 25 blinds is a fuck ton of money.
I think he is winning like 15, honestly. I mean, it's just maybe. But Katie Stone says, "Hey, what's up? What's going on? We were just speaking of you, Katie. We were just speaking that you were a ball girl for the Houston Rockets. Did the Mr. Sticky fiasco get settled?"
Yes. I know who it is.
Yes. Eventually, Berkey remembered who he took to Florida.
I totally forgot about that trip until you reminded me. I don't think I won anything. That's why.
Oh, so, you know.
I know, it's brutal.
Sorry.
Brutal. Just went joyriding in a Ferrari with some random girl off Bumble.
10-9. Be careful about those rape charges, bro. 10-9-8.
Come on, man.
Bet, call, king. Check. King of clubs.
Somebody tweeted, so we're live on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. And somebody who follows me, this is what astonishes me. It's not when I get a random troll. It's when I get a random troll who follows me that I'm always shocked. But he replies to the stream. Stream is boring as fuck. And I'm just like, okay.
Some people like certain topics. Some people like, the fucking train going through the screen and a cat emoji. I don't know, man. Everybody has their own taste, I'm personally never going to put a fucking cat emoji or like a cat gif on my fucking screen. Not happening. I'm more like a dog guy. There's just no way I'm doing a cat thing.
I feel you.
3 bets on the river. Those bet raise, re-raise. Daniel now repping pretty strong flush.
I will say that our title tends to just always get it wrong. No offense, Andre. Today's title, Dnegs continues smashing Dnegs Polk Showdown.
Yeah, this session's not over, bro.
It's not over, but I will take the do not pass line on him smashing this session.
That's fair. I mean, maybe he doesn't smash this session, but we need to, what do you mean, bro? Scott says, Chin, do not slam the cat jam. It's just not my thing, man. It's just not my thing. Cat jams are not my thing. I don't know what to say. I mean,
You gotta love Landon, man. He's having a good
well,
time.
I love Landon. I just don't love the cat jam. It's way different.
He's having a good time.
Dude, nothing. How do we get Berkey off the screen? 4-bet from Doug, winner. No haters, no fun, says Tejas Patel.
He's right. I don't mind the haters. I mind the lack of creativity. Like, what would drive you to say stream is boring as fuck? That's neither infuriating nor is it helpful. Oh shit! Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, the multicolored one. Is that Chauncey? Bye, Chin. Oh shit. Oh shit. We did it. Now we just need a fucking tractor truck barreling through a Corvette. We're all good. I think Chin left us. He's gone. Got that ugly fucking Skype logo up. Got the space theme going on here. Did you guys hear about the programmer Stefan Thomas? Can't remember his Bitcoin wallet password. Oh, couldn't remember his Bitcoin wallet password. 2 more chances to open it. He owns 7,000 Bitcoins. What? Hold up. What fucking wallet is he on where he's that restricted by security options? Something there seems not correct. Something seems fishy. I don't know. 3-bet pot here on the table blue. Queen 3 deuce, 2 hearts. I think we'll see a fair amount of small betting take place here. Perhaps some checking. We have seen Daniel do a lot of checking with hands like jacks, 10s. He does go 3/4. Queen high, jack high tends to do this a little bit more than king high, ace high. So that makes some sense to me. And he wins. He wins. I'm going to make up a story about where I think Christian has disappeared to. Judging by the grimaced look on his face when the cat jam appeared, I imagine that what had happened was all this recent influx of protein that he's been taking in has just been flushing out his system. And I mean, that was the face of a man who needed the shit, if I've ever seen one. So my best guess is right now Christian Soto is making an absolute mess of his mother's bathroom. Hopefully he had the courtesy to light a candle or at least a match. You know, I mean, God forbid he's just in there sucking in his own stink while he just absolutely blows up the commode Dumb and Dumber style. 4-bet here by Daniel, table blue. See how Doug responds. We've seen Doug shove at these depths plenty as a 5-bet response. Only have ever seen Daniel call with aces, I think. And Doug had... That's right. What we're witnessing now is an advertisement for... I have this stuff. It's called Poo-Pourri. So it's this like spray you put in the toilet before you take a shit. And it creates a film that locks in the odor. Saves... in my opinion, it's the greatest thing in modern history to save a relationship. Like, if you're like me and you just want to know absolutely nothing about your partner's bowel movements, get yourself some poopery. It's a must. Keep it in every single bathroom in the house. And, just pretend that if they're in there, they're peeing at all times. Daniel goes for about 25% on the left in the 4-bet pot. Doug works in a small check raise. We'll see this with spades. 9-10 of spades, I think, is a good one. Queen 10 of spades, maybe a little less. We'll see this with like ace jack plus. All in and call. So king jack plus, actually. And Daniel's going to win a nice, important pot with 2 queens. Doug's hand there probably mixes a fair amount, especially having the heart. Guessing that he's also just rolling all spots. Probably rolled aggressive there and went for it. Nothing really going to change. He has one of his strongest bluff catchers if he does choose to check calls. So Daniel's definitely winning stacks there, barring a run out that wasn't the one that we saw. Oh, Dom says it's an encrypted hard drive. I got to tell you, man, that seems awesome for protection's sake, but really, really, really foolish to trust human nature enough. Yeah, there's just too much margin of error, man. There's just way too much margin of error, and you obviously don't want to write the passcode down. So, like, I don't know how you get around this, but what happens if he gets the password wrong 2 more times? It just destroys 7,000 Bitcoin? Oh, Jesus Christ, the heartbreak. I can't even imagine. Could you imagine? Oh, what's 1,000 Bitcoin worth right now? 38 million? Is that right? 10 Bitcoin is 380,000, 100 is 3.8. Yeah, so 38 million is 1,000. He has 7x that. Wow. So like almost 300 million locked up on a fucking hard drive that he can't access. That's scary, man. That is fucking scary. Oh, wow. He did write it down and lost the paper, supposedly. I mean, having something to that level of security and then having to write it down seems very compromising. Yeah, it seems like there should be... Wow. If he gets it wrong 2 more times, the entire drive gets destroyed. So yeah, $261 million locked up on a hard drive somewhere that seemingly will never get recovered. Well, you know what that means for us, guys? More scarcity. You know, that's 7,000 Bitcoin out of circulation. Fuck this guy. Should have did a better job. That just means there is less coins to buy and a higher demand. He's going to want some more Bitcoin once he finds out he can't ever get back in that fucking hard drive. Yeah, I get it. You write it down, you put it in a different safety box. I mean, we do that with recovery keys for things like Trezors too, but we're in the early technological phase of these coins and securities and things of that nature, and it's messy, man. It's messy. You're gonna hear a lot of these stories of people who are locked out for life, who lost their pass keys, whatever the case may be. I think you're gonna hear a lot of stories of people getting hacked or having their wallets compromised. For sure, a lot of these platforms, like Coinbase and such, are gonna be compromised. Maybe not so much the major platforms. I think it's less likely that a Gemini or Coinbase has a hacker strike against them, but it's certainly going to be pretty probable that as the rise of crypto becomes more mainstream, more secondary sites are going to pop up, and they're very unlikely to be as secure. It's expensive to stay ahead of the hackers, you know, but effectively, you know, these exchanges are banks, or they serve similarly to our banks. They're just digital wallets. So I don't know. Yo, I just watched that episode, Odyssey. He said Sheldon made Leonard lose his Bitcoin by putting it on a Batman flash drive, which he then lost. I literally just watched that episode. Another break here for Dnegs. These breaks are coming pretty rapidly. We've only been playing for 90 minutes. This is his third break, so it looks like he's taking one about every half hour or so. I think I hear Christian breathing somewhere in the background. Don't worry, man. I covered for you. I told everybody where you were at. We're good.
Let's see. He can't get a lawyer. How does a lawyer help? Okay. Where did you say I was?
Oh, you were doing unmentionable things.
Huh. I probably killed the cat. That's what happened.
We've just been talking about this poor bastard who has 7,000 Bitcoins locked on a hard drive that he may never be able to access.
How many coins are there? There will be 21 million coins total. But
that won't be for a while. Like 2050?
Yeah.
Something like
they're
that?
Suspected that a portion of those coins, millions of coins, are lost forever.
Yeah, Tejas is saying about 20% of all BTC has been destroyed. I don't know if it's that accurate or not, but... So yeah, 18.5 million coins have been mined so far. But I think the projection for the final 2.5 million is over the duration of, like, I want to say like the next 15 years or something. Like, mining is slowed to a crawl. And that's necessary based on how, like, blockchain works. Like, you need miners to continually be checking the ledger. So basically when transactions take place, the miners are the ones that are serving as the objective third party, I guess, to ensure that the ledger is intact. And when there are no more coins... Go ahead.
Danny won a big pot.
Oh yeah, sorry, you missed one. He doubled through Doug, Queens versus King Jack on Jack High, 4-bet pot. Doug took a small check raise line on Jack 10 X 2 spades with King of Spades Jack X. Daniel just had the old queeners. SPR was low though. How did that pot get so big? Oh, Daniel had a gutty.
I think I just checked down.
Nah, it was 7K pot. Oh, it was a 3-bet pot?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. But yeah, you called it with queen high. It was a good call.
No, you're right. The river went check for sure.
Nice value bet from Daniel. Second pair. Good. 3-bet pot on the right table. Jack 8-7 goes with a 40%. Backdoor flush develops as well as a 5 now. Playing 2.5. 75. Call. Backdoor flush fails. It's not great news for Daniel.
I don't know if that's
spades,
true.
Jack eights.
I think he has a fair amount of spades, and he check raised flop, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh, this is a 3-bet pot? Interesting. He's still going to be pulling a lot of his bluffs, especially for 3/4 pots from the spade region. And then I imagine his other bluffs on river are going to be hands like Queen 10, Queen 9. Perhaps 5-6, though I feel like that's a bit of a reach. I don't really think he's going 3/4 pot on turn with like 5-6 of spades. Woo! Thin to
nice
win,
hand.
baby. He had
Very
no
nice
spade.
hand.
He had no spade, right?
Neither had spade.
Interesting. I would be fascinated to see that river spot. Something tells me one of them is getting a little out of line here. I don't know though. Jack 9 blocks 9-10, which is pretty important. Jack 8, pretty strong hand at 0.66 SPR, 0.7 SPR, whatever it was. Probably can't expect to check call that hand profitably that much. Doug doesn't have a ton of bluffs once spade fill. Sometimes you got to YOLO it in.
Get his ass, Daniel. Fuck that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hands up all the time.
Hands up.
Hands up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. 3-bet him with the Jack 8 off. Bet. Let's go.
That should reduce Doug. Ooh, okay, more than I thought. I was gonna say that should reduce him down to about 85K, but Daniel picking up a little momentum, reducing this down to a 2 buy-in game, give or take.
It's a take, bro. It's a fucking take. It's 70K. Let's go.
I'm curious about Doug's call there on the end. It seems fine. It seems fine, but it seems. I feel like we need. Well, I guess.
I feel like you probably need a spade or you probably need a better
You need a spade
jack.
or a nine. No. I don't think a better jack matters.
It matters a little bit.
Daniel's not ripping ace jack there.
He's ripping queens and kings and aces.
So then how does having a better jack help?
You block kings and aces and queens?
Yeah, I think blocking 9-10 is way more relevant.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But something tells me the EV of Jack 9 there is probably in line with ace jack.
Let's go. 4 bets. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I want to know if Doug has a 5-bet non-all-in at these depths.
Oh, we have jacks.
Feels like jacks, doesn't it?
Let's just have jacks. You know, the highest fucking EV hand we can have. Let's go.
Jacks, no diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really open up the floodgates of get them. Daniel quarters here. I think we see this a little bit less on the king high boards, but at this depth, I might be a little out on a limb talking about what sizes are most common. Kind of difficult to understand what they start at, like 250 effective 4-bet heads up pot. Not exactly something I'm super proficient in. Even having watched all these matches, we haven't seen a lot of these spots. Check back turn. Seems reasonable at this depth. Doug block bets. I imagine he's doing that with probably range at this point. Puts Daniel in a bit of an awkward spot the times that he has. Okay.
Don't be getting thin on me, bro. Let's go, Daniel. Let's fucking go. Have that protected check back range there. My man tries to get thin with the jack. No bueno.
I was going to say, I think he probably also checks back aces there and feels pretty inclined to raise river, but just can't. But then I wonder what maybe he has some queen 10 bluffs on the end. Queen 10, 9, 10. Because he's going to have like a little bit of kings full, jacks full quads that he's going to want to be raising. So
I like that mix check back there. It's kind of nice.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was pure, to be honest.
Think he's checking back pure? Or you just maybe?
I wouldn't be surprised. Without the ace of diamonds in hand, without the ace of diamond in hand, I suppose he probably bets a little bit more frequently. Just because he unblocks a lot of calls. But let's say we give him ace king with the ace of diamonds, I wouldn't be shocked if that hand just pure checkbacks.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me too.
The eight's not like a 5, you know.
Make it only 1 buy-in now, Berk. Let's go.
It is only 1 buy-in, man. Maybe I got it wrong. I got it twisted. Daniel's smashing.
Let's go, man. Let's dance. Hands up all times. We ain't falling for no tweets, bro.
Boring as fuck.
What's the score? Why you gotta kill my buzz, bro? Nah,
Did
Doug
he just
is
shout
up.
scoreboard?
Doug is up 484,000 going into today.
If Daniel wins this session, will Chin do the cat jam for us? I think he should. I really think he should.
I'll tell you what. We'll have an entire fucking. If we get this under 100K, we'll have a whole day of cat jam on the show.
We might just do like a Thursday party stream where like this match isn't even going on. We're just watching cat jam videos. Scott Parrish says Daniel's on fire since the cat made an appearance. Maybe we'll borrow Chauncey, Marley's cat, for a day and just recreate real life cat jam. I like the slow creep in and out.
Yeah, you better keep that shit out.
Oh man, at least it's on the left where it belongs, you know. The dude says, Berkey, talk about Bitcoin security. Where's the best place to store it? Can you have redundant systems of holding so you never lose it? I'm definitely not well versed enough for sure, but I know like if you use cold storage like Trezors, you can have multiple Trezors with multiple what are they called? Passcodes? No, not passcodes. Recovery codes. Recovery seeds. I think that that's probably like a good redundant way of protecting yourself, but again, I think that I don't know, man, there's just like a lot to it, right? Like if you lose a Trezor, you're fucked. If you lose your recovery seed, you're fucked. There are a lot of ways that like this can result in Bitcoin disappearing. And somebody made the point earlier that like eventually it may be 100 years and maybe 100,000. No, that's obviously not true. Maybe 100 years and maybe a few hundred years. But eventually like there will be no Bitcoin, right? Because just if time has told us anything, we're not good at passing assets down generation to generation. So people holding Bitcoin are going to die, and they're not going to give their loved ones their recovery seeds, and they're not going to tell them, you know, where it's stored and things like that. Assets are going to be seized, and you know, it's just reasonable that, and this is kind of the unfortunate nature of it, but it's pretty reasonable that 50 to 100 years from now, the vast majority of Bitcoin is just owned by corporations.
Hold it with your fucking steel hands.
Yeah. Also, like, create a will. This is something I need to take my own advice on. But like, by the time you're 30, if you have assets, you should have a fucking living will.
Yeah, I have a will.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I really need to. Did you already mention your preferred way to secure crypto? No, I'm not going to do that on air. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I had a will because, well, I'm not really like close with my dad. So my mom was like, hey, you know, if you die, your dad gets like half of everything. And I was
like, right.
Yeah.
Smart.
So then I was like, okay, I probably need to create a will.
Yeah. That's really smart, actually. Yeah, I guess I never even thought of that. For some reason in my head, I always thought like everything would just go to my nephew. But you're right. Yeah. Like, he's not my next of kin. Right now, my dad and my sister would be.
Right. So that's kind of the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I really need to get on that. It's annoying being an adult, man. Like, it's not just, like, easy. Like, I can't just, like, go upstairs and write down what my fucking will is. I have to get that shit notarized and, like, have a lawyer flower up the vocab. Everything's so fucking corporate.
You don't need to flower up your vocab anymore, Burke. You're good. Aces, boy. Let's.
Whee!
Oh, bro, if we come back and win this, you can play the fucking cat jam today.
Can you replay that? If we can get a replay on there, I'd love to see it because I feel like.
I think he trapped it.
I feel like he missed it. I feel like Doug either bet or raised the turn, in which case we could have played a pretty spicy one there.
I'm going to pull it up on my side, I'll tell you.
It feels bad not getting a river bet. Especially if only one bet went in on the turn.
try to get this on my side. So raise 3-bet. I'm gonna verbally try to recount these aces. Doug's in the tank. Goes with the call. Jack 10 for 2 diamonds. So we're out of position.
Mm-hmm.
This is taking longer than these people tank longer than I think.
Oh, you're just rewatching the coverage.
Yeah.
You're smart.
So he starts with the check. That's so he started with the check.
Right. Aces, no diamond.
And then
okay,
it went,
fine. So it's probably gonna go like third by Doug.
40% by Doug. Yeah, actually exactly half pot by Doug on the flop.
Okay. Now we're definitely bluff catching. Call.
Yeah, call, and then I think another bet goes in on the turn, call, and then check.
Yeah, turn. So if it was a 3-bet pot and he bet half on flop, we're looking at 4K, putting 6K in the middle.
There's 14. There's 14 in the middle. There's 14 in the middle on the turn, so with 100K back.
So you overbet turn? No, because it got the 33. So they put in like 9,500 each on the turn. Yeah.
Yep, 9,600.
Feels kind of bad to just
Which
check
part
call,
feels
check
bad?
Call. Just check call, check call, check.
I mean, you're 100. You're 100. You're over 100K deep on the flop.
I get it, man. Yeah, but like you act like it sounds unreasonable to start with a bet.
No. Of course, it's not unreasonable. I'm just saying, like, checking's good.
Right, but if we bet, we get 3 streets, unless like Doug was just airballing and didn't follow through on the diamond.
No, he's not airballing. He probably just had a jack.
That's what I mean. So we get like 3 reasonable streets, and probably like Jack 10 deuce. We probably go like.
Yeah, but you definitely need to start with a check sometimes, Berk. Like you can't just always bet because.
Yeah, but don't we want to like check a little bit more often with the ace of diamonds? I think.
I mean, maybe.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
I think like you need checks because like remember like you've been making the argument like every time he checks in these 3-bet pots you feel like he has like middle pair or some shit, you know?
Yeah, but he also like stopped doing a lot of checking.
Yeah, I don't think he's checking all the time. I think he's just checking sometimes.
Bro, there's nothing wrong with the check at all. I'm just saying that like on that.
You just want to see a bigger pot, like.
Well,
you just
on that
like...
on that specific run out, we have a really strong fucking hand on the end, and it just sucks knowing that like when we check, the only time we face a bet now, right? Like his 1 pairs aren't going thin for value anymore. We're only facing like we literally just have a bluff catcher. It's not like he ever has worse value when he bets the end, and that feels like a pretty shitty position to be like cornered into with aces in that spot.
Yeah, I get you.
I mean, I guess
he
like
could definitely have a little bit of worse value, like ace of diamond, jack,
or jack
king
10.
of diamond, jack, or jack 10. That got counterfeit. Yeah. I mean,
it's just like pretty minimal. I think once the pot has swollen that
I think it's a function of the stacks. Like
for sure.
Deep,
your stack off threshold has to be so strong. Like 1 pair with, unblocking draws isn't going to be good enough.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool one.
I guess it does kind of feel pretty nasty if you get raised on flop and ultimately.
Oh man, if you get raised on flop, you're just like, oh my god.
Well, the sick thing is like when you get raised on flop, like you're prepping for an all-in by river.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's just like one of those spots where it's just like fuck, but also just like hope this is the time he doesn't have a set.
Yeah, you're just ready to play a big one.
Yeah,
and then you're kind of happy that the bottom card paired and you just call it off.
Sort of. The diamonds get there.
Yeah, that part, yeah, for sure. You don't call it off on that exact one, but on other ones you do.
Yeah.
It's interesting, right? It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's important to.
I do would have want to see it. I'm on your side. I would love to have seen like it go bet. Like.
Well, the thing is though, like ultimately he's just gonna block river.
Yeah.
But I think like 2 pretty big bets go in flop and turn.
Like big bet, over bet.
Yeah, like then somewhere between half and 3/4, and then like probably a pottish bet on turn. Maybe 3/4 again. The presence of Jack 10 is always like a little bit disconcerting.
Left hand Lee says percentage of a 200K night. I think it's gone down significantly. I think if you would have bet 200K maybe like an hour ago, you would have got a bad price. now,
Yeah.
you would get a good price.
Where's the guy that said Daniel's losing 300K?
That guy has exited and went on to the upswing stream.
He's also the guy who tweeted at me and said the stream's boring. That's fuck.
because
fuck.
Because we're rooting. Well, we're not rooting. We're supporting one side a little bit more than the other. At least me.
Yeah.
Berkey's been like pretty neutral.
I'm your prototypical Steelers fan, where I love my team, but I never say anything positive about them. I only criticize the shit out of them whenever they're not doing what I want them to do.
Oh man.
Like when they do something well, it's yes.
Aces? What do you mean you checked aces?
Yeah, like you have aces and you didn't get enough money in the middle. Like, god damn it, let's fucking go. Put in your money.
If you get raised, you just say, well.
Yeah, like sports fans as a whole are like this, but Steeler fans are particularly bad when it comes to this stuff.
I think poker players are like this too. Like if you watch it's become a tradition that like poker Twitter on the WSOP main event night.
Yeah,
it's just like everybody critiquing every play.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally every single play.
No, that's 100% true.
Not that this guy made the final table when I did it. He he sucks.
But like if you ever watch I put him in my story a lot, like Pittsburgh Dad. He's like the perfect embodiment of a Steeler fan. It's just all reactionary rhetoric where like no matter how good or bad things are going, like somebody is at fault for the current thing that happened. Always. Like we just can't accept any level of variance or potentially being outplayed or anything like that. There's always a better way.
There is left-hand lead does say, looking at the right table, there's a probability of something spectacular happening with an hour left. With at least an hour left to go. I mean, we don't know if there's an hour left to go. They do get to kind of call it at 7:30 Eastern time.
Yeah.
If they choose, but I kind of have this feeling that Daniel wants to play, but we'll see. But yeah, they're super deep on. Like, they both have 100K each on the right table, which is not common. So we'll see how that plays out.
There's a tweet that the guy who is like dressed like an idiot or whatever for the Capitol thing.
Oh, the guy with the Vikings?
Yeah, the one who stormed the Capitol. His name is Tim Giannit. He was also the leader on the march in Charlottesville, the one that turned out to be
really?
heavily violent or whatever. But the irony of all of this. So it says he broke into offices, he rummaged through papers and desks, he used the phones, and he filmed the whole thing. ... And he was COVID positive.
Oh my God, Jesus. It's crazy.
He's fucking patient zero when it's all said and done. What a nightmare.
It really is. It really is, Burke. What are they gonna do? You know. Exactly, Chen. If you're Daniel, you're going to want to take your chances on the right-hand table.
Yeah, I think we've already seen that that's not true. Oh, you mean just by like playing longer?
Yeah,
like
maybe.
I think people have to understand though, depth like really changes strategy. Like you start to get pretty cautious. Yeah, you get cautious with like one pairs.
You kind of need like more of a cooler situation, or like someone to just have like a key blocker and someone just like hold on to their fucking straps and call. Yeah,
for sure. Scott Stone says, I'm curious, what do you think the Steelers need to adjust on? Coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback, definitely running back. Our run game just isn't the same. I think the run game was a byproduct of two things. Number one, Connor getting hurt. And number two, the offensive coordinator leaning heavily into the pass game once Connor was hurt. So if you go back and look, I think through the first 6 games, Connor was averaging like 4.5 or 5 yards a carry. Had like 600 yards maybe. A little bit fewer. Maybe like 500 yards through the first 6 or 7 games. Then he got hurt for 2 or 3 weeks. And like that was it. He was just completely lifted out of the offense. They're also very likely to lose him to free agency. really high probability, and I don't think that Benny Snell or the other backups are really going to be all that serviceable. It's hard not to blame the offensive coordinator when you're throwing 58 times a game. I think that their scheme is a little off, but I think replacing Bud Dupree and replacing Juju is going to be a near impossibility, and the likelihood that the Steelers put a run together next year, if they're not able to either ink one of those two guys or fill in through free agency, I think the likelihood is near zero. They're going to turn back into an 8-win team. Andrew, I'm happy to hear that you finally got your hoodie. Somehow we mailed it by a snail system. Who knows what the hell the UPS has been doing. Pretty negative card for Doug here, I think, after potting turn. Daniel's in the tank. Seems like he really wants to find a lead on this river card. Nope, that's a lie. He just had a very strong bluff catcher. You're muted, Chin. Hello.
Nice hand.
Shut your mouth, Odyssey. He says we need a quarterback. Don't you talk about Ben that way. We need a future quarterback.
Ben needs a lawyer.
You're an idiot. If you compare the stats of like the quarterbacks in Ben's age bracket, he's still one of the highest performing in the league. It's not even close.
I can't wait. Yeah, if he's 50, he's gonna be number one.
Nah, he's 38, but like if you compare him to Breeze and Brady, even Rodgers. I mean, obviously Rodgers is younger and outperforming everybody, but like Ben threw for like 4,500 yards this year, and he was the least sacked quarterback. We're also gonna have offensive line issues. I think we're losing Villanueva. What?
Dominic saying
quarterback under 50.
Top 10 quarterbacks under 50.
Yo, that's a good list to be on.
It's like a 30, 30 for 30 shit. It's like the Forbes list.
Isn't it wild how in an industry like the NFL, where the average shelf life of a running back is 2.5 seasons, quarterbacks are playing for like 22 years? How? Like I know they bend the rules and like they don't take the punishment, but Jesus.
So this is 3-bet, C-bet, check. Bet, C-bet, check. Goes with the third. You can't hit quarterbacks, that's true. They protect them.
That is true.
Kobe's greater than Ben. 6 of spades. Pot size bet left. Danny could go for the throat.
Yeah, pretty clean run out for Queen X plus. Doug will have some 6-5, some 7-6. Probably just. I mean, it's unfortunate to see 7-6 of spades because now he probably has all 7-6. Whoa.
Queen Jack, Ace King, nice hand.
Do you think he can rip there?
Yeah-ish. Yeah-ish.
I don't know how much King, Queen, Ace, Queen Doug has played.
I mean, if he has Ace King off, he probably should have some.
Yeah.
I think it's close. It's like
there's
I think
a big difference. I mean, there's a big difference in showdown value between Ace King and King Queen Ace.
No.
King.
I'm just saying, like, he'll need some of those hands. Like, he can't just always check with Ace King and tens.
Yeah.
I think it's a close spot. I think the nice hand for Doug.
Well, no, obviously it's close. It's not by any stretch a layup shove.
I think King Queen is like going to go for it, and Queen Jack probably doesn't go for it all the time.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of like really close spot. I think there's also a little bit of like king queen blocks kings, and sometimes Ducks has kings.
Yeah, queen jack kind of has negative blocking properties. Hoping to get called by jacks. Yeah, I guess when you start to frame it that way of like, what do you want to call? What do you hope to call? You have to lean on that Doug is calling like jacks 10s type of hands.
He might. I don't know.
I mean, he probably has to start.
Doug said, like, listen, bro, like, if Daniel has a hand, I'm gonna pay him.
Yeah. I honestly think that like he may call ace king some of the time because it blocks ace queen and king queen.
It's not zero. Maybe it's not zero. I heard Pittsburgh wants Brady. Everybody wants Brady, bro. He's the greatest quarterback of our generation.
Nobody wants Brady except Tampa Bay.
Greatest quarterback of our generation. Maybe of all time. You think Brady's the best quarterback of all time?
No comment.
You don't even want to say yeah. That's crazy.
Because like saying no is an asshole thing to say. But like no, I don't think he's the greatest of all time. Like it's an asshole thing to say, but like I mean, come on, man. This guy's
so
like
who's number one for you? Who's Joe Montana or some shit?
Montana's really fucking high up there. Marino's really high up there. I mean, I don't know. The thing is like nobody wins the way Brady wins.
That counts, bro. That's the thing.
You're right. You're 100% right. You're absolutely right. That is the thing. I just don't. I just don't know. I don't know that it could have been duplicated elsewhere. Like people can point to Tampa and say that like, you know, they have a shot, but like it's not by any stretch the same. They're a 5 seed, and the likelihood of them getting to the Super Bowl is pretty low. And they're wildly talented. This is the best receiving core. This is literally the best receiving core he's ever had in his career.
This is like Jordan going to the Wizards, bro. This doesn't count.
No, it's not. Jordan, it would be like Jordan going to the Lakers. He literally has a top 4 receiving core. He has Antonio Brown, who was the best wide receiver for the better part of this decade, who, sure, I agree, is like not elite any longer, but he doesn't suck. He has Gronk, who also doesn't suck. And then he has Evans and Goodwin, who are both like top 5 receivers in the NFC. Maybe you can make an argument for top 5 receivers in the NFL. Like, this is by far the most weapons he's ever fucking had surrounding him. And they went, what, 10-6, 11-5, something like that?
He's 43, though.
It's like, so what? He won a Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, but come
on. He was 42.
Bro.
What's the difference?
Let the guy breathe, bro.
Let the guy breathe. I'm just saying, I'm not saying he's a system quarterback, but I'm kind of saying he's a system quarterback.
He's not a system quarterback.
I'm just saying he's kind of a system quarterback.
He might be the greatest.
Belichick needed him as much as he needed Belichick, and vice versa.
Yeah, they say the same shit about Kobe and Shaq.
Kobe just needed a compliment. It didn't necessarily have to be Shaq. Shaq needed Kobe though.
Terry Bradshaw's the fucking great one. Right?
No, I wouldn't put him in the top 10. I think he was probably an average quarterback at best. He just had a fucking disgusting team. They were the number 1 defense, number 1 running offense, and he had 2 Hall of Fame wideouts.
That's how you do it, bro. Doug Polk up 25,000. Peak incinerated. Peak incinerated today. Wins a medium-sized pot on the left table, though. These guys are very, very deep on the right table. We might see the biggest pot we've seen tonight. Might happen.
I'm here for it. Have we had a 200K pot yet?
I don't think so.
Man, it's so crazy. I think about like how many. I've played $1 million pots at fucking 3-6. Like a lot of $1 million pots.
It's different, bro. People aren't opening to 2x, you know?
Yeah. No, it's
straddled nice value, but
very different.
What?
It's very different.
I feel like all live games are just
equity thresholds don't exist in live games.
Yeah. Also, just like the stakes are just bigger. Like 510 is probably like closer to like 7.5, 15. Because of straddles, depths, people open bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true.
The disrespect for Steve Young is appalling.
Steve Young is great, but not top 3. He's not. Is he better than Brady? I don't. It's really. I know this sounds strange, but I think it's really difficult to put a mobile quarterback as one of the greatest of all time. Generally, the mobility takes away from their accuracy.
It's crazy how Drew Bledsoe, like, if that didn't happen,
it happened against the fucking Steelers too. Oh God.
We don't know how history changes.
So bad. Well, I'll tell you what would have changed. If Bledsoe doesn't get hurt that game, the Steelers win the AFC Championship. They go on to the Super Bowl, and the Patriots have to make a decision the following season as far as like what their quarterbacks are. And Bledsoe was, I think, still under contract, and Brady was a fucking 27th rounder. So pretty unlikely he plays that following season. It probably delays the Patriots dynasty by like 5 years.
It's crazy.
And then the Steelers probably have like at least 2 more Super Bowls.
Y'all just gonna disrespect Tony Romo, man? I mean, come on, bro.
Tony Romo, come on. He's a better commentator than he was a quarterback.
That is true. Any list that doesn't have Peyton Manning might not be a top 3 list. Peyton Manning is insanely good.
Yeah. I think people forget, like, because his drop-off was so drastic at the end. I think people forget how fucking dominant he was, especially because, like, he was kind of snake-bitten by both the Steelers and the Patriots. Like, he was probably the best quarterback in that era that made fewer Super Bowls than both Ben and Brady, which is pretty difficult to swallow. He's the Marino of our era, right? Like, he just didn't win the big game. And when he did finally win his Super Bowl, well, I guess he won 2, right? He won one with the Colts and one with the Broncos. When he won the last one in his swan song, like, he was a shell of himself. He could barely get the ball down the field.
Nice hand for a dog. 14,000. This was 3-bet. Check bet. Check. Dug up to 40. Up to 1 buy-in again.
I think it's difficult to include Favre in this list. I love the guy, but he was way too much of a gunslinger. And Aaron Rodgers is just like significantly better than Favre ever was. I don't know that Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the short list of top 3 all time.
Raise. Check raising on the triple wheel ace high. These are difficult to balance. Ace of hearts. He will have some backdoor hearts hands like 5-6 potentially. However, the ace decreases some portion of his value region. Like, it's less likely he has ace deuce ace 4 now. 3-5 suited is still a possibility though.
Yeah.
It's called queen. This becomes more difficult as he almost never has ace queen. All draws bricked. Difficult spot. Look at the size. He goes for 2/3.
I think this is pretty good. I think he has a fair amount of bluffs available to him. And the presence of 3-5 and ace wheels probably prevents Doug from raising much ace 10, ace jack type hands.
5-7. Nice call from Doug there with the 4. It's good.
5-7 feels like it's stepping out a little bit.
It's a gut shot on the flop.
No, I know.
It's a tough one.
It's just tough on the.
That's what I'm saying. It is difficult to balance. Like on the flop, I said.
On the paired ace board, it becomes really tough. Like, especially when you have that many available bluffs. Like when you dip down into the 7-5 off.
I think you kind of have to bet the river though. Like when all draws bricked.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the size he chose for sure. Being that wide, like we're just gonna have a lot of hands that bet the river. Period. Especially like if you're getting called by 4, like you should be betting Queen X and maybe even valuing some pocket pairs.
Overbet after the flop bet check down. GOAT wide receiver. I don't even think it's close. I don't think it's close. Maybe between 2. At least from the modern era. I don't know that much about the old ones. But between the modern era, I think it's like Randy Moss. And I think there's like, honestly, a fair case. Like Larry Fitzgerald's pretty sick.
Bro.
Like, he's super underestimated, though. You don't like Larry?
I love Larry, but you just said
No,
Larry
just
Fitzgerald over Jerry fucking Rice?
No. Sorry.
What are you, drunk?
Sorry. Super modern era. Excuse me.
Randy Moss and Larry Fitz are not in the same era.
I didn't even get to see Jerry Rice play, unfortunately. But yeah, Jerry Rice is sick.
I mean, Jerry Rice owns every single record in an era where, the NFL ran the ball.
Yeah, what happened to Calvin Johnson?
Didn't want to play. Same exact thing that happened to Barry Sanders. Played on a shit team, Detroit, for a portion of his career. Said, trade me or I retire. And they said no, and he retired. He retired in prime. He retired at like 27.
Why don't they just trade him? I don't get it.
Because NFL trades are a non-thing. You get nothing. You get like a 3rd rounder for your first round franchise player.
Yeah. That sucks.
Just get like a bucket of balls and shit.
Yeah, he was like super. He was very dominant. Pretty wild. That's so unlucky for the Detroit Lions, right? It's like their guys just end up just leaving. It's not fair.
Stafford's gone after this year for sure. I would actually, he's too old. I was gonna say I wouldn't hate the idea of Pittsburgh pursuing him, but he's too old. He's gonna demand too much money. I would rather just keep Ben. I like the idea. I don't know, man. There's a certain romanticism to me about guys retiring with the squad they started with, and not too early. Like the Steelers forced Troy Polamalu into retirement because of cap reasons. They basically said, like, if you want to test the free agent market, we're just going to cut you. So rather than being cut, he just retired.
Wow, he retired. Calvin Johnson retired, and the Lions asked for their signing bonus back.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I think they got it. But it wasn't huge. I feel like it was only like $1 million.
Oh, damn, bro.
I mean, for the NFL, like that's
relative. Yeah, it's relative.
Like Juju's going to get $15 million next year. And granted, like Calvin played a while ago, so like it was smaller then, but like $1 million signing bonus is nothing. That's just like the quote unquote guaranteed money.
Doug creeping up 75 again.
That happened fast.
Couple bluffs,
Couple bluffs, picked off a couple bluffs. Here we are.
How rich is Berkey? Only 1 million.
Psst.
Big raise. Pop. Rice, Moss, Julio, Calvin Johnson.
Julio? I think it's too soon to include Julio, man. I don't know that Julio's numbers greatly outperform AB all that much, and I don't think he belongs on that list. Calvin Johnson didn't play long enough. How are you leaving T.O. off? Get the fuck out of here. This guy was a goddamn specimen. There were debates between T.O. and Moss when they played at the same time.
That's true.
Like to just put Moss up there.
Moss was way better, though.
I don't know that I would go so far as to say way better. I honestly don't even know that like he was a better player, receiver, or talent. I just think that like ultimately he produced more. Everything about T.O. was better. He was bigger, faster, stronger, taller. He was
taller than Randy Moss?
Bro, he's huge. I don't know for sure, but Randy Moss is under 6'1".
No, fuck no.
Yeah. I don't know that for sure, but I'm fairly confident To was for sure over 6'1".
Randy Moss is 6'4".
No way.
Yes.
No way.
I was like, you talking crazy. Randy
Come
Moss
on.
is huge.
What if I got them backwards and To was like a tiny little bitch? He was 6'3". No, he was 6'3". It's because Randy's so fucking skinny, man. Wow, I would have never thought that Randy Moss was taller. Not in a million years.
I thought that the whole time.
They must be padding those fucking heights.
Big pot on the left table. We might need a replay for this. Check. Damn it. I knew this was coming.
It just never gets called. When it does, it's just like always wrong.
Damn. He had a king for sure.
Yeah. When it gets called, it's just like always wrong. God,
that's
it's
a
so
big
brutal.
Pot. It's gonna shoot Doug up to 100K again.
How does it happen? How do these swings just go like this?
You just get trips less than a straight.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Randy was a little bit faster, an inch taller, 20 pounds lighter. So yeah, they were definitely like very different players. Let's see.
Something tells me just like Randy's reach was also just long. Like he was so long.
Yeah, I mean, if he was taller, obviously his reach was probably longer. He only made the Pro Bowl 6 times though. Like, I don't know, man. How long did he play? He played from 98 to 2012. Yo, people don't even know about the fucking end of his career. 2010 to 2012 when he was back on the Vikings, then the Titans and the Niners. That was some...
Yeah, you really think this dude was gay and that's why he killed himself or no?
Who?
The dude from the Patriots.
What dude?
Damn, it's that
far. Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah.
I thought he was murdered. I didn't think that there was like any proof that it was a suicide.
Oh, maybe I got that wrong. I thought it was a suicide.
Well, I think it looked like a suicide in jail. But yeah, that documentary was fucked up.
No, it was ruled a suicide, bro.
No, I know it was ruled that, but so was Epstein.
I see what you're saying. But he left a note. I don't know.
I need to see some hand analysis on that note. So they're both 6-time Pro Bowlers. T.O. played for 16 seasons. Randy played for 14. T.O. had 16,000 yards receiving. Let's see what Randy had.
Poker Odyssey says he was definitely bisexual.
I mean, that's what the documentary certainly suggested.
Yeah.
For sure.
Overbet from Doug. Jack 4 deuce 10. Nice hand. I have one screen with the game and then another screen which is my research screen.
Yeah. I have to use my phone because I don't have a computer in front of me.
Tejas Patel says 501k players. What are you referring to? 501k players. There aren't that many 501k players in the world. Okay, this is the question. Are most 501k players backed or do they have their own action?
Backed.
I will say that, yeah, I mean, very likely. I mean, those are massive stakes, man. Like,
bro,
you're
you're
definitely gonna need.
Go ahead.
You're gonna need, investors for sure. So like 501k. Like,
Lynn's convinced that you could play 501k with a $2 million bankroll. I think you need 10 million minimum.
Yeah, I mean 20 buy-ins is just not enough. Like it's just no way. Like 501k, then the 2k comes on. Now your bankrolls are cut in half.
The game, yeah, the game plays big a lot. The swings and variants are way higher than live pros would like to admit.
Yeah,
I think like 10 million is comfortable, and you probably have to start selling pieces at like 5 million.
It's 501k comfortable with how much? How many million?
100 buy-ins.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're in good shape now, for sure.
Yeah, but I think like, you know, as like if you go on a downswing, I think like you have to start selling somewhere around a 3 to 5 million downswing.
Yeah, that seems fair, for sure. I agree with you. I think 2 million's insane.
I think two's like irresponsible. Like I've had close to that and wasn't even remotely interested in having all my own action.
No, it's high risk, super high risk.
Yeah, and I mean over an 18-month span, I basically went on an 11.5 million swing. 5.5 down, 6.5 up. So sorry. So sorry, a $12 million swing. Right? It's like that happened in an 18-month span. That was over the course of like I don't know, I didn't play that often. So like 80 sessions? Maybe 100 at most. I would take the under on 100 for sure. It's like that variance is fucking real.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. 501k. Berkey will stake chin. There you go. We got it. Lock it up.
I think you're like way off on this Moss T.O. debate. Their numbers are almost identical. Moss has 3 more touchdowns than T.O. T.O. has like 1,000 more yards.
You ever heard of the eye test?
Have you ever heard personal biases?
Bro, the eye test.
The eye test is very fucking flawed.
Eye test, Randy Moss was that dude, bro.
I mean,
Randy Moss.
You're also the guy who thinks Kobe's better than Jordan because of the eye test.
No.
Or better than LeBron or whoever the fuck you're going to tell me he's better than.
Kobe is just someone that if the game's on the line, you're going to give the ball to Kobe. You don't give the ball to fucking LeBron. That's it. That's all it comes down to.
I disagree.
All right, well, it's fine. Eye test, bro. Randy Moss. T.O. was a cancer.
Yeah, fine. I don't give a shit. What does that have to do with how great he is? Now we're going to qualify somebody based on how good of a teammate they were? Like, you think Barry Bonds shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because he was a shitty teammate?
Moss is better at his best. T.O. more consistent. Okay, I can see that.
I don't think that's true at all. I think like both were game-changing wideouts by a long shot. Moss is a little bit faster, so he's a little bit more of a deep threat. T.O. is a pretty big fucking target.
Kobe is Mr. Clutch, best to ever do it. Don't be so silly, Burke.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna give you.
Jordan won 6 fucking rings. You think that Scottie Pippen was fucking doing it? Wow,
that's a huge all-in.
I would love. That's why I said earlier. I would love to know if Doug has a 5-bet size that isn't all in there.
Feels like no.
It's big, so man. Far. 8x shove is big.
Just says, "Show me aces."
I've only seen Daniel call with aces. Not that like he's folding queens or jacks, but I've only seen him in that spot with aces.
Best DB, Deion Sanders will shut them all down. I am sorry if you guys are not from America and are listening to all this.
Don't be, man. American sports are where it's at. We got proms and we got sports. That's life.
My opinion of Berkey's sports knowledge is dropping.
I don't know why.
Come on,
What did I say that's not right?
He's just a PA guy, you know? He's just a guy from PA, you know?
The fuck does PA have to do with anything? T.O. was a Niner.
He was a Philly Eagle, too.
I don't like Philadelphia anything, and he spent the shortest amount of time in Philly. He came up in the Niners. He was a better AB. Like, AB's a cancer, too, but you'd fucking take him in a heartbeat. Or at least you would have 2 years ago. Now I don't know.
115,000 for Doug Polk.
1,000.
20 buy-ins at 500 1,000. That's pretty. We'll see. I don't know. I think live is so like secretly. It's like a secret that because it goes so slow, you don't realize that the variance is so big.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't see it like in action.
Yeah, it's when you're stuck in the middle of it that you're just like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
When am I getting it back? Like what we saw in a swing today, we've seen 300k swings so far in this match, right? And it's over the course of, we're probably going to end up seeing like, I don't know, 600 hands. That's 3 live sessions.
Yep. Exactly.
So imagine that being split into thirds, where you went on a 3 buy-in downswing, and then the next session a 3 buy-in upswing, and then the next session a 3 buy-in downswing, and mentally try to parse out how that is supposed to impact your variance calculations and your risk of ruin, right? Because it could have went the other way, where you lost 3 buy-ins, then recovered 3.
Dominic says variance seems less since the edges are so much bigger as well.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, the larger the win rate available, the less impact variance has. But I think it's clear. I think we should be specific in clarifying the difference between variance and volatility. So a big part of high win rate comes with an increase in volatility. So what I mean by that is there will be a lot of situations where realizing your edge gets a little bit gray due to the volatile dynamic of the atmosphere. So for instance, say the games you play in have a high 3-bet or have a high cold call of 3 bets, right? Your initial 3-bet strategy might just be printing big blinds per 100, 20, 30 big blinds per 100, right? But that cold call behind doesn't dip into that win rate. It just forces you to realize it in a very different way. The win rate actually may increase because of the cold call behind, but you're also going to exchange large pots in this particular scenario. So you're going to suffer volatility in the path to realizing that win rate. And I think that is a pretty clear, I guess, understanding of why we need to be so much more rolled.
That's fair. I think, the stakes don't always dictate the stakes on the plaque don't always dictate the stakes of the game. Yeah,
that too. There's that element where the game just doubles randomly, where fish is just jamming blind. So think of it that way, right? Like, what's your win rate if somebody is shoving dark versus you looking at your hand in a heads-up scenario? It's pretty high, right?
Probably super high.
It's extremely high. But what is your variance of? So like, let's reduce his frequency of shoving dark now to, say, 30% instead of 100%, right? So now, even though he still isn't looking at his hand, let's say you don't have that knowledge, and he's just playing a very volatile strategy. He's forcing you to embrace variance, right? Because
for sure.
Because like now, whenever you're calling correctly with bottom of range, which are hands that aren't realizing a ton of win rate, you're suffering a lot of short-term volatility. So the long-term variance of it is pretty minuscule because your win rate is so great that it will overcome any unlucky spots. But the short-term volatility of it all is through the roof, right? And that's obviously an extreme example, but there's a lot of that type of shit that happens live that would never happen online.
What was the longest you did flips for?
Not very. I hate flipping. I hate doing things that I don't have edge in. Which is funny because, like, you know, I know that I'm Mr. like give a little to get a little. But I it's not the edge so much as control. I don't like being out of control when gambling.
I was playing 1-2 the other day, online or whatever, with my friends, and then we flipped for like probably like 45 minutes straight, like, and it was like just four-handed flips, like every hand like 200.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, but whoever, like, let's, like, you can go all in at any time, So it's like, let's say you had 1,700,
Mm-hmm.
and you're under the gun, like you're just all in, and now the person that's also winning, like let's say they have 2,000, they have to call. Like so, like sometimes, like
Aren't you
it's
getting the
bigger.
information of looking at your hand though?
No. If you're an asshole, you're banned.
Oh,
Like
okay. I
it's
see.
it's like if you're like if you show down a good hand at that point, like you're just not bad. Like
Okay.
like you have to actually be like, okay, like I just want to gamble, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's so that was pretty funny. I think I lost like 1,400 or something, but it was like it was funny. At some point, I was like, this is like super decent. Like
There's actually there's an app that you can just run cold hands on now. It's called Flip for It.
yeah.
So you can do it multi-way if you like.
Multi-way?
Yeah. You can add as many hands as you want. So like a lot of people use it instead of credit card roulette. But if you just wanted to run cold hands and like gamble on it, you can do that too.
What's the name? It's just
Flip for It.
Flip for It.
Yeah, I think it's created by Jesse Y. And
Is
that
he a
crew.
friend? Is he a friend of the show?
I think you know who he is. He's friends with like Shannon Shore, Jack Schallenbacher, that whole crew. I think it's like, let me look. They have a Twitter account.
Big raise from Daniel. Repping a flush. This hand. Oh! Repping the nut flush now.
Mm-hmm. Ruh-roh. I wonder if Doug finds non-ace of club bluffs here. Wow. This is fucking huge for a single raise spot, bro. I mean, they got to the river with 11 blinds in the pot, and now we're suddenly risking 150.
Fold.
Yeah, I think, I don't know what he folded there. But I think that Daniel tends to be conservative in those spots and probably doesn't call with, I mean, I'm sure he just like mixes calls with all of his flushes, but I think that they're probably pretty low frequency calls. Like, I'm just basing this off of like those polls and shit that he's ran. He seems to be pretty risk averse when being laid a bad price. Tough not to just like shrug call with a flush in that spot though.
Thing is, like, okay, Doug needed to bet the river with the ace of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a flush.
Oh, that's not that hard though. If he has like ace 10 with the ace of clubs, pretty easy value bet.
Well, why not just showdown? Wait, because remember, like, the way this hand played out,
Mm-hmm.
it was like one bet and then a showdown, and then now he needs to bet the river again with the ace of club.
Well, it was like
not
flat
showing
bet,
down.
check, turn, and then lead river by Doug. He took the lead on the river.
All right, let me pull this hand back up on my side. Let's see. So the hand went check on the flop. Then on the turn, so the board is nine of diamonds, 6 of clubs, 3 of hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Check flop. After Daniel checks it back on the flop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Doug now leads the turn.
Right.
Gets called.
Which the turn was a 10?
No.
Queen.
9, 6, 3, 7 of clubs.
Okay.
Bet for 3/4. Call. River king of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Bet. Raise. Shove.
Yeah, I mean, I still think he can just like have ace 9, ace of clubs. I think he can have ace 7, ace of clubs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think he
Like
could
a pair.
have ace 8, ace of clubs that he's bluffing river with.
Yeah, those all make
Right?
sense.
Because the depth is so great that he can take a semi-polarizing line with the naked ace of clubs on the river. And when Daniel raises, he still has so much, like he has infinite room to 3-bet shove now.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that part.
Yeah, I would imagine that he has pretty even distribution between flushes and naked ace of clubs, if not slightly imbalanced to the naked ace of clubs.
4-bet. Come on. Every now and then it has to be aces our way. Versus queens.
Yeah. Hello. So it's interesting.
Whoa.
He chooses
This
the
is a
non-all-in side.
misclick. No, I think this is a misclick.
Is it? You sure?
Nice. Fade it. Just fade it.
Heart.
Yeah, cool his ass off.
It's interesting to see the strategies.
I still think it was a misclick.
Come on, bro. He had kings. It might have been a fake misclick.
I mean, that's just I don't think that's like I don't know anything.
Bro, I'm with you. It's an interesting thing to see that Daniel has a click 5-bet and Doug has an all-in 5-bet. That's the clear spot. That's the clear spot by which their strategies diverge. We see Doug only 5-bet jam. I haven't seen another 5-bet size yet, and that's all the way up to like 250 bigs. He'll just 5-bet rip. Whereas we can at least point to this one spot that Daniel 5-bet a different size. I'm pretty certain I've seen him 5-bet non-all-in prior. It's gotta feel bad from Doug's side, even though you have ace king. It's like queens probably just shoves. And he obviously doesn't have ace queen.
Nice. I like cooler. Single raise on queen jack 8. On the perp table. Jeremy Stark says, looks like Doug is crushing today so far. Yeah, it's been a wild day. He was up like 160. Daniel cut it down to like 30. Now he's at 85. Swings are real.
Swings are indeed real.
Oh, whoops. Jeremy Stark says, oh wow, yeah, it's been wild. It's been real wild. And we are here to cover it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, starting at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time with Matt Berkey and myself. Every now and then we try to invite a little bit of a guest voice into the booth. Next up will be Jeremiah Williams, high stakes, young up-and-comer, one of the best players in Las Vegas, allegedly. And we'll see what he has to say. I think he's kind of secretly been a splash on the scene, you know, not really well known because he's too nice.
That's what you deduced? He's just too
like if you're
sweet.
not too nice, if you're too nice, like people are like, oh yeah, it's that nice kid again.
Yeah, sure, I get it.
He check raised me one time on 8-3 deuce.
I remember.
After he flattered me on the small blind, and I went for I think I went like 70 on the flop, like 70% on the flop. We check raised, and I was like, "What do you have, dude?"
I feel like
I opened on the.
Did that hand show down?
Ah, I folded the flop. Get out of here.
Yeah, for some reason I felt like he had ace 8.
Yeah, of course he had ace 8. I had sevens.
Ragged.
Nah, he didn't bluff me, bro. I looked him straight in the fucking face and said, "I'll punch you right in the fucking mouth." And he was like, "Bro, I had it." I was like, "Nah."
Sevens for
think he
that
bluffed
size is spicy.
Yeah, I probably should have picked a better size. I don't know, man. I was just slinging it. I wanted him to fold.
Well, there you have it. You got what you wanted.
Whatever. He's not bluffing for that size. He's not bluffing me, bro. I could just have queens. Like.
Well, I mean, I agree he's not bluffing when you have sevens because he's going to choose hands that wrap around the 8. And 2 sevens is a big part of that. That's not to say when you have, ace jack high, he's not bluffing.
Yeah, but I had 7. So 4-bet pot.
Feels real bad if you have like 9s.
4-bet gets called. 8-7-3. Yeah, if I had 9s, I would have folded.
Really?
I don't know, man. I just don't trust them, bro.
Can't say that on air.
I don't trust them?
Nah, that you would have folded 9s.
Yeah, I have to say it on air so people try to bluff me and I call.
Sure.
I've been doing this to Lynn for fucking 3 months. Yeah, Lynn, I fold. Call.
Standard 25% here by Daniel. Spicy. What are your thoughts on flop size? It's not that we don't have. It's not that we don't have a 25% bet. I think that's probably. I guess.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I guess I need to know how wide he's 4-betting. But like, if we're pressing overpair equity, I feel like we should just be going pretty big and checking.
Well, remember, he has like also like ace queen off, ace king off. He also has king 5 suited.
Yeah, but a lot. Well, king 5 suited is different, but like ace king, ace queen doesn't want to do a ton of denial betting. I don't think. You're just like way ahead, way behind, and the board texture doesn't really run out favorably for those hands very often. So like, voluntarily putting in money isn't fun.
I think he's like literally has like ace high right now. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about the 4-bet formation heads up and like what kind of sizes go in play.
Yeah, I mean, if he has ace high, I expect it to be like exactly ace 10, ace jack for him to make that call.
Yeah, no, I don't think when he called he had ace high anymore. I think he probably had something. Yeah,
maybe 9-10.
Yeah, maybe a 9-10 combo. Maybe like rivered. Maybe like flopped something like king 8 and then flopped an 8.
That hand wants to go big though.
On the flop?
I think so.
I don't know, man. I just don't like. Honestly,
I mean, you could be right. Yeah, you're right.
No. I'm not saying I don't know.
No. But you are right.
I'm saying I don't know because I don't know.
Right, but if we do have a small size, we're obviously going to want to take our most, our weakest showdown value hands and fit it into that size. But like generally speaking, on
you're saying you want more protection for your king 8 though.
Well, no, I'm more so saying that your protection betting with your king 8, whereas like you're pushing a lot of equity with like jacks and queens.
Yeah.
Because like Doug's still gonna have hands like jacks in range that beat king 8, so like you could still run into better value. Whereas like when you have jacks plus, it's unlikely unless you just got outflopped. Yeah. But yeah,
Tejas,
good.
Sorry, I had to give him his due, because time's almost running out. Tejas Patel has now converted his name to Tejas Patil and has donated $20
for you to get it right.
Question: can you get JRB on the stream? That is a question for Matt Berkey, as they are best friends.
I actually do think he would do it, but it's a favor I feel awkward calling in.
Okay.
I feel like we would need to have 10x the viewership before I called in that favor.
JRB would be nuts. JRB stories for 2 hours would be interesting.
I also think it would harm my seats talking poker with JRB for 3.5 hours.
JRB does not drink cheap wine would be a costly addition.
That's fine.
Thoughts on betting Jack 10 on the 9-8-3 no flush board? Size if yes. Are you referring to this last hand? Was it 9-8-3 board? No, it was 8-7 turn 9, right? I'm not sure. Can you rephrase your question, Andy? Maybe that'll help. Are you asking generally? Or are you asking? Oh, okay. So Berkey, he's asking in general. You have Jack 10. The board comes 9-8-3, no flush board. What kind of sizings are you? Oh, sorry, 8-7-3, no flush board. What kind of sizing are you using?
Single raise, 3-bet, 4-bet.
Yeah, single raised. It seems.
Single raise pot. I think we have more big bets and checks. I think Jack 10 probably fits the big bet a little bit more. So that's what I was gonna say is like 9 high, 8 high textures like that. Most of our made region wants to go pretty big. Like you flop ace 9 on like 9-7-3. We're looking at like the 75-80% pot size.
So he's asking. Basically, we have two overs and a gut shot, and we're also out of position.
Oh, we're out of position. I think we probably just check a lot. Small betting feels okay, but like, you know, there's a lot of hands that you would have to put into the small bet range that you really don't want to, like ace 8. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you could probably simplify that spot by just checking range.
There you go, Andy. Just check.
You're not going to be in that spot very often, though. Well, maybe at like low to mid stakes, you will.
Yeah, you're out of position against 3 players at fucking 2-5 in Borgata.
Yeah, I do think that like I think you could kind of set up a cool, somewhat exploitative line. Like I kind of think this is a good texture to like go 40 on, even though that's not really a sizing we're going to use very frequently. But like at 40% pot, you can pretty much fit in all your equitable hands without giving very much up. So you could be choosing your 9-10s, your 5-6s, your 8x, your 7x that need protection. Maybe even some ace high holdings like ace 10. Seems like it would be an okay one. Ace 9 perhaps. And then like your obvious draws, 9-10, Jack 10, those types of hands. You could fit all of that into 40%. You could fit like your Queen 10 with backdoors into 40%. And then just check, kind of exploit. Like your checking range sucks, obviously.
Yeah. But they don't know.
Yeah, you don't really have to do a lot of checking, right? Like basically all you need to have done is like flopped a pair or some sort of 3 to a flush, 3 to a straight, and you can start betting for 40%. Again though, like recognize that this is pretty exploitative because your checking range is dust and you're betting a little bit larger than you would for a range bet size.
Do you have any more guests lined up for the stream? Yeah, we said Jeremiah's in the mix. We're gonna try to snag fucking Landon one day from the fucking cat stream over there.
I told him today when I was walking out, I was like, open invite, man. You're welcome to come anytime. And he gave me the most awkward no fucking chance that you've ever seen. Like he said it without saying it. You know what I mean?
No, please elaborate. I might fucking kill this kid.
you know, it's like, tell me you're not going to do my stream without telling me you're not going to do my stream. And he's just like, oh, okay. It's just like, yeah, you're
God.
never coming on the stream. I get it, man. He's like JRB. Like you can't call in that favor until you 10x the audience, right? He'll come on the vlogcast because it gets 5,000 to 10,000 views. Mm-hmm. But you know, the stream, it's only averaging like 300 concurrent versus Joey's. It's getting like 3,000. It's all about building that platform, baby. He's no longer Landon Tice. He's the Landon Tice.
Nice call from Doug. King high. Nice hand. The Landon Tice. That's fucking good.
Feels like a little bit of a bloodbath right now. Even though I know that largely it's just been like some cooler shit.
Poker out loud is bomb, by the way, says Andy Robson. I do think it's our best work.
Yeah. We're gonna lean pretty heavily into it this year.
Tell the people what the plans are for Poker Out Loud.
So currently, we are tentatively scheduled to film February 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's going to be the next season of Poker Out Loud. It's shaping up to be a Young Guns edition, where Chin and I are going to take on the next gen and maybe put some people in their place, maybe get humbled a little bit by the young up-and-comers. I don't know. We'll see. We're also going to attempt to film a vloggers edition, where we invite 6 vloggers to come play a session. We're going to give them all the raw footage. They'll be able to put out their own version of what happened, the behind the scenes, whatever it is that they want to do. And then we're going to put that season out on YouTube, probably sometime around March, I would guess. But yeah, we're going to kind of like lean pretty heavily into Poker Out Loud. So the idea is once we film this next season, we're going to start building all of our content then off of the Poker Out Loud. So we're going to take spots from the actual gameplay, distill them down into, game theory heuristics, and just analyze them on a much deeper level. So maybe we want to take a look at river spots. Maybe we want to take a look at block betting, something of that nature. We'll just pull a handful of spots from Poker Out Loud. We'll already have the thoughts of the actual players, so we can get pretty accurate parameters at that point. And then we will just, run the spots, see how it's supposed to play out at equilibrium, how closely that aligned to their thoughts, the potential mistakes that are happening in a live environment, where reads can potentially come into play, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be, it's nice to see that I've gone into the old reg edition now.
You are officially, you are officially over the hill. Once you pass 31, like 30, you're still on the cusp. 31, dead.
It's over. Yeah, it's over.
They start digging the second you turn 31, they start digging your grave. I already have a headstone up. Mine already says, like, here lies Matt Berkey. Here lies Big Bet Berkey.
I think those little fucking twerps are gonna get a lesson. After Landon gets stacked, I'm gonna be like, you can come on our show anytime, buddy.
I can't wait to see how many times he says, you just call and pay. You just call and pay.
Yeah, you'll pay.
And on the other side of it, it'll just be like, I never have bluffs for this size, but he just doesn't know that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I like the little kind of. I also feel like the majority of the people in the show this season are kind of friends of the show, which is a new kind of vibe,
I think that's always been the case. I think Kelly was like as close to an outsider as we brought in.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'd like to in a future season, I would like to reach out to Brocus. Honestly, I would strongly consider doing a season of like coaches, maybe. Depending upon like how free people are to do this. But I think it would be really cool if we could get like Rabbit Chow and Brocus and Chance or Fox or people that are out there also doing instruction, LaPlante, and get them in the mix. Let them.
Yeah, let's bring in Stevie Chidwick, baby. Bring in Stevie Chidwick.
He's not a coach. He's just keeping shit on the wraps. Maybe we'll bring Guru on.
What do you mean? He was a coach. He's a coach for Run It Once.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He hasn't been for a while, though, right?
I mean, I don't know when his last video was, but
probably the first day he played High Rollers.
Nah, he was still doing them on High Rollers. But, I mean, we'll see. Jakun did one very recently, actually.
His was more about like lifestyle, though, right?
No, it was hands. He had some hands.
Okay.
He was playing online, and he put it up and spoke about the spots. Like, I mean, that's super valuable. You have Jakun out there. You have Sam Greenwood out there. Although I wouldn't put Sam Greenwood. No, I got love for Sam Greenwood, but he ain't going on Poker Out Loud. It's just gonna be like kind of a little too boring. Like, I need someone with a little bit of spice. Like, Kevin Ravichow gets a pass because like he's my friend, but like
I don't know, man. I think Greenwood's got a lot of spice. Like his Twitter is certainly not.
I think
shy.
His Twitter is just like he lets it out. He's like
kind of like
not really who he is. It's like he's
kind of like Chris Crock.
Like, yeah.
Like Chris Crock's the nicest person I've ever met in real life, but like his Twitter persona is very like dry humor.
Yeah.
Or dry wit, I should say.
You need a Poker Out Loud version with 6 random guys from the Orleans 1-2.
No, you don't.
I thought that's
Everybody
a good
asked for
compliment.
that, but it's like we've ran streams like that and nobody enjoyed it. Nobody wants to hear people who are vapid of thought. You know, people just sitting there going like, this hand's pretty I raise. Right? Like, or trying to search for a reason as to why they're doing what they're doing, but they have no fucking clue. Like, well, my Jack 10 suited is red this time, and as you can see, I've been employing a limping strategy here, so I am going to choose to limp the red variety of Jack 10 suited, when like all of that is just like formulated in absolute nothing. If you simply just stopped the tape and was like, well, why? Mixing?
Mixing?
I'm
man, this guy's-
mixing?
Not mixing anything. He's fucking mixing his drink on the side.
Right. Like somebody just told you something about suits somewhere along the line.
The Jack 10 of diamonds limp. Six random guys from the Orleans. Stuff like I want to bet here because fuck Chin. Not word for word, but it's still funny.
I mean, to be fair, that stuff definitely comes out. But also, like, people are very conscientious around the cameras. So, like, they don't even troll as much as they could troll.
Daniel down 110,000 today. It's been a swingy day. The players are still playing. We've now hit the 3-hour mark.
I'm out of drinks. Which also means that I have to pee. I need to bring a laptop next time. It's difficult to navigate chat on my phone. I feel like I'm always looking away from the camera.
Jesse Sylvia was on Poker Out Loud.
He wasn't
there.
in season 2 though.
I believe that was season 3.
Season 2 is probably Jack?
Jack, that's true.
Does he have black hair?
No.
Right. Neither does Jai or Hunt.
No, it was Jesse. It was just a miss. They just missed which season it was.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Kelly trolled real hard. She was actually pretty funny.
3-bet on the purple table.
Would you do a heads up poker out loud? We've tested it.
That's
It's trash. The things that sound good as an idea, I promise you, we've thought of and are not good in implementation. The issue with heads up is that it's only 2 people. They're playing all of the hands, and ranges are incredibly wide. So like there is a lot of spots where either the explanation gets to be too deep and complex and circular, or the explanation is like non-existent because it's just like automatic. Like, oh, Queen 4 deuce rainbow in a single raise pot, I'm c-betting third, right? And it's just like that's kind of gonna be 75% of flops in single raise pots, and then the out of position player has to sit there and parse through like how they're continuing to meet MDF versus third pot, and like nothing is automatic from that side, and all the hands look a little bit weird, and I don't know. It would obviously be fascinating to hear 2 heads up like gods doing that, but it would also get a little bit, I think it also just like kind of goes over the head of the vast majority of the people watching. Like the explanation is not good enough.
So this hand went raise, 3-bet, call, turn 8 of spades, check, bet, fold.
3-bet, you say? 3-bet is something we don't see much of. I ran like fire in season 3. I also won like a 1400 big blind pot versus Nick Howard, where he got an ace queen pre-flop. You don't see that every day. We're gonna call that one the Berkey effect. See, those are stories that like the Wizards don't have to tell. Like, yeah, so I played a 1400 big blind pot the other day versus a winning reg where I had kings and he did not have aces.
That's fair. They pay Berkey.
Yeah.
Berkey gets paid.
And only 6 bets went in.
Berkey gets paid when he has hands. It's like Durr, you know, back in the day. It's like
It's
you had
hard.
a hand, you just pay him.
It's hard to put in 6 bets at 700 big blinds deep.
You know,
That's
when you
more-
have an ace and no limit hold'em,
That's more like
sometimes you just
it's more like an 8 or a 10 big bet spot, you know. Not with my sizings.
You were scared with kings.
I was. I fucking nit rolled them. I missized my 4-bet or 5-bet rather. I went too big, and then I got ripped on. I'm just like, fuck. Chewy ran a spot like that, and kings is like a fold. Maybe
There you
not.
go.
Maybe not at that depth, but he ran a spot where like he called 4-bet kings, and the under the gun opener 5-bet ripped for like I think he was playing Zoom, so it went like 2.5, 7. He cold forward to like 19, and under the gun ripped for like 200.
And you just hit the muck. It just hits the muck.
He mucked it. He mucked it, and then he ran it later, and it was a pure fold.
Wow, sick.
It's like you're only calling aces there. That seems crazy. That's with giving him ace king. All right, good time. Oh, is that a dot?
Oh,
dot,
it's
dot?
over. I think it's over. Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's 3 hours exactly.
Well, I guess that's not the worst. I'm thirsty. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Sits out both tables.
GG.
Yep. Game.
Big day for Mr. Polk.
Yeah, big day for Polk. $120,000 win, and we'll be back. You know, the players will take a break. We'll be back on Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Congratulations to Doug Polk. Very swingy day, and I'm a little sad. You know,
Yeah,
but
it
it is
happens.
what it is. It is what it is. It's part of the swings. Very swingy day. Congratulations, Polk. We'll be back Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. And for myself, Christian Soto, and for Matt Berkey, stay thirsty, my friends.